Chhattisgarh, 29 of Madhya Pradesh, and 26 of Gujarat. 66 seats, it's virtually 66-0. That's why the gap has doubled. In the space of the last half hour, NDA has gone to 143 to 167. India is at 70 to 87.
Is this the shock you were talking about?
Sorry?
Is this the shock you were talking about?
No, I'm going to talk about the shocks that are still going to come. This election is not over. This election is showing at the moment that the BJP is holding on to its own seats, but is also gaining a bit in the south.
You know, Pradeep Gupta likes to challenge conventional wisdom. One of the states where he's challenging wisdom is Goa, where Pradeep seems to be suggesting a tighter contest than what we'd anticipated initially. Remember, this is a state where the BJP had bagged both the seats last time round. It's traditionally been a tighter fight, but that hasn't been the case of late. So let's take you through what's happening in that lovely state of Goa. Many people are watching. This may be their retirement plan. So let's take you through what's happening in the coastal state of Goa. There are two seats there. The BJP expected to bag 52% of the vote share, the Congress 43. Let's see how this translates into seats. The interesting thing that Pradeep Gupta is predicting is that South Goa could potentially go to the Congress. Are you sure? Pradeep, हर चीज आप गूगली कर देते हो. In Kerala, you're giving 3 to the BJP. BJP people are messaging to say, is Pradeep sure? Now you're saying South Goa will go away from the BJP?
There is no googly in South Goa for sure this time, and Congress is likely to win as per our poll.
Okay, let me now tell you the story of South Goa.
And
there's a lesson.
Party and Congress this time contesting together here.
It's very interesting. Last time, the Congress also won South Goa. This time, the Congress replaced its candidate. The BJP decided to go with a young woman candidate, Pallavi Dempo, from the Dempo family. Now, what has happened here is that you've got the BJP traditional voters who are hoping that a local from their Karyakartas would be given. You brought in Pallavi Dempo, you know, the BJP wanted to give a woman candidate. Now, I still think she has a chance. My reports from the ground, unlike Pradeep's reports, suggest there's a tight contest in South Goa. The only benefit in South Goa for the India Alliance, AAP and Congress are on the same side. So the entire Christian vote, this is an area with a Christian population over 25%, almost 30%. Therefore, if that consolidates, I only need a minority of the majority to vote for me. So that may have happened, which may have made South Goa tighter. So this is what the India Alliance should have done carefully in all the states. Looked at local candidates, made sure that you work together. And one thing I must say, AAP and Congress have worked together on the ground. Unlike in several other parts, they've actually made an effort to work out. So this could be at least some scare, but Goa is not going to change a national election, but it's something for them to hold on to.
Let's see what's happening in the seat of Gandhinagar. Now, this is hot only because the Home Minister stands from that seat. In terms of vote share, he's actually hoping to increase the margin of his victory. On the hot seat, the cool hawa seems to be blowing in favor of Home Minister Amit Shah, who seems to be romping home in style against Sonal Patel of the Congress. And there is a bit of a wager going on amongst BJP leaders from Gujarat about who wins with the biggest majority. But the problem there is Surat was unopposed, and in Indore, the Congress candidate joined the BJP, so that's 13-odd lakh votes straight, which would be then the record that gets set for the maximum margin of victory in any seat. Of what we've covered so far, Rajdeep, what looks most exciting? Jharkhand?
You know,
Rajasthan?
if I was from the NDA Alliance, I think I'm excited by what I've seen in Kerala.
And Tamil Nadu as well.
And what I've seen to some extent in Tamil Nadu, but certainly Kerala. I expected Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat for a sweep. If I'm India Alliance, the only good news I've got at the moment is Bihar and Jharkhand. That's where I'm getting my...
Rajasthan.
You know, as you said, 3 to 5 out of 25 is clutching to straws. I think Shankar put it wonderfully. For the Congress, agar main 100 run banau na, I'm going to have a celebration. And BJP is aiming for 300. Just think of the scale of the two main parties. BJP is targeting 300 seats and the Congress is targeting 100. Yeah, you know, Rahul, that seems the problem.
Yeah, but that's the Congress game in this election.
What is the Congress game?
If they manage to touch 100,
yes,
large number of those seats are going to come at the expense of BJP, and then BJP is going to be below 270. That is what Congress has been.
पर अभी तक वो हुआ नहीं है. छत्तीसगढ़ में नहीं हुआ, मध्य प्रदेश में नहीं हुआ, गुजरात में नहीं हुआ. In fact, it's conforming to what I've been saying. Direct contest BJP Congress. BJP is winning 90% of them. Even Karnataka. Even in Karnataka, where you have a government, you're losing.
True to that, and that has what has happened in 2014 and 2019. BJP winning more than 90 to 95% of seats against the Congress. So in the opposition camp, Congress remains the weakest link.
Preeti, what has stood out for you and what has been according to you so far? And we're not even halfway through. What, according to you, is the standout point at the moment?
100% Kerala. If the BJP is winning a seat in Kerala, I would think that is quite a shocker because nobody quite expected it, and that'd be great news coming in for the Bharatiya.
Are you surprised would the Congress be disappointed, particularly with Karnataka? Would they be disappointed with Rajasthan? You went there, you travelled. Would they be disappointed with the Madhya Pradesh that they're being blanked out?
Well, I think they wouldn't be disappointed with Rajasthan. I think they expected between 5 to 6. We're giving them about 7. So I think they'd be happy with what they take from Rajasthan. Where the state of Madhya Pradesh is concerned, the Congress was hoping they'd be able to get in about 3 to 4 seats, which hasn't quite happened, at least by the virtue of what our numbers look like. Gujarat, they were looking at a Banaskathas and Bharuch, the seat that Aam Aadmi Party is standing on, Chaitar Wasawa. So, those were the couple of seats they were banking on, but there were 1 or 2 here and there, Rajdeep. What I would think they'd be disappointed in was they were hoping to get in more from Bihar as well. Because that's what the sense, where you speak to the leaders, they were thinking they'd get more than what they've got from Bihar.
So, if this is a 20-over match, we are actually only at the moment in over number 6. Remember, India's 2 biggest states yet to come, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. 128 seats between these two
and
states.
they've lost Karnataka in the power play.
They've lost Karnataka already in the power play. Sudhir, is that something that has surprised you, that the Congress so far, as per Axis Mind, are not even in double digits in Karnataka?
Yes, Karnataka definitely would be a huge disappointment if the numbers put out by Pradeep Gupta actually hold on Tuesday, because Karnataka is one state they thought they would do much better than they did 5 years ago.
Rajat, what's the best news for the BJP coming so far?
I think they would be happy that all this khatakat notanki is over. Finally, they would be thinking that, there is a limit to how much you can actually literally go out and buy the votes. I mean, if this is the scenario and these are the projections, BJP is actually going way past their number. So I think BJP would be happy that they didn't have to recklessly go out with freebies. And here the parties who did that did not end up gaining anything. So it's good economics which is winning. That should be something which should be giving smiles to the BJP.
Okay, let's take a break at this point.
We'll take a break. We'll look at some battleground states like Delhi. We'll look at what's happening in Punjab. We'll look at what's happening in Haryana. All of that when we come back on the other side of a very quick break. I hope you're enjoying our coverage. We're taking you through the headline numbers. We'll spend a lot of time with the minutiae and the details over the next 3 days. But for the moment, we'll slip into a break. We return with Delhi, Punjab and Haryana on the other side of a quick break. Stay with us, back in a moment.
वेदर शील्ड पावर फ्लेक्स, इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से। इट्स कलरफुल, इट्स पावरफुल।
Higher, more creation, more possibility.
अगर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता। रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल। रुंगटा स्टील TMD बार, एकदम सॉलिड।
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से। सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सॉल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ।
देखिए, अगर हम मुद्दों की बात करें, लगातार आपके द्वारा आरोप लगाए गए हैं कि मनीष तिवारी है, बाहर के हैं। तकरीबन 125 आपने पदयात्राएं हैं, तमाम तरह की रैलीज की। कितने आश्वस्त ओवरऑल नजर आ रहे हैं? क्या आप देख रहे हैं कि मनीष तिवारी एज अ ओपोनेंट आपके सामने खड़े हैं?
देखिए, मनीष तिवारी जी को आदत है जो 9 असेंबली सेगमेंट के माध्यम से चुनाव लड़ने की। पंजाब में 2 बार उन्होंने चुनाव लड़ा है। अब यहाँ पर कोई असेंबली नहीं है, कोई मंत्री नहीं है, कोई मुख्यमंत्री नहीं है, कोई विधानसभा नहीं है। उनको धरातल पे उतर के काम करने की आदत नहीं है। चंडीगढ़ में यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे कि किसी व्यक्ति को कोई काम होता है तो वो सीधा उसके लिए जो मेंबर पार्लियामेंट है वही चीफ मिनिस्टर है, वही मंत्री है, वही एमएलए है। तो इनको वो आदत नहीं है उतने क्राउड को हैंडल करने की। इनके पास 8-10 लोग आते हैं, वही इनकी जो चौकड़ी है वो उसके बीच में ही उपलब्ध रहते हैं। हम लोग जनता के बीच में रहे हैं, हम जनता के साथ संपर्क है। 6.5 लाख के करीब वोटर है, तो मेरा कम से कम 3.5-4 लाख लोगों से पर्सनल संपर्क है। उनको इतना संपर्क बनाने में मेरे को लगता है 25 साल और लग जाएंगे।
बीजेपी सरकार आ जाएगी सर। अब देखिए जब नंबर आ जाएंगे तो क्या होगा फिर, और इसको रोका क्यों हुआ है? अरे कांग्रेस के स्पीकर में और कांग्रेस पार्टी में दम है तो उनका रेजिग्नेशन एक्सेप्ट करे। अब उपचुनाव होगा और देखिए दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा।
नंबर आपके फेवर में होंगे?
नंबर ऑटोमेटिकली होंगे, जब हम जीत करके आएंगे तो होंगे ही होंगे। इसलिए ये उनको स्पष्ट दिख रहा है कि उनसे अपना परिवार नहीं संभला, उनसे अपने लोग नहीं संभले, और सरकार ने एक तरीके से इसको रोकने का प्रयास किया है। ये बातें हमको स्पष्ट।
प्रेजेंटेड बाय माचो स्पोर्टो, ये तो बड़ा टॉइंग है।
को प्रेजेंटेड बाय
आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय, जॉय ई बाइक।
को प्रेजेंटेड बाय
ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा।
ड्रिवन बाय
जेके टायर, देश का टायर। पावर्ड बाय एमपी बिरला सीमेंट परफेक्ट प्लस कंक्रीट स्पेशल।
को पावर्ड बाय
पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी वडोदरा गुजरात। को पावर्ड बाय पैनासोनिक एसी फॉर स्मार्ट होम्स। Signature Finest Silver Elaichi, a premium product from Dilbar. Supreme Total Piping Solutions, जीवन भर का साथ। अच्छी नींद पेप्स की गारंटी। पेप्स, the dream makers.
Welcome back. You're here with our Axis My India, India Today exit poll for the 2024 general elections. As we've just completed the first 6 overs, the power play, NDA is almost double of the India alliance. 144 to 162 is playing 70 to 88, others 1 to 5. But remember, the big states, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, are still to come. So those numbers could change as the evening proceeds. Let's come though to a state or a union territory which a number of people are interested in. The battleground state of Delhi. So much has happened in Delhi over the last few months. Arvind Kejriwal, Chief Minister, will be going back to jail tomorrow. How is he going to see these numbers now? As per our poll, India alliance 44%, NDA 54%, 10% gap between India and the NDA, and others are 2%. So in Delhi, a solid 10% gap. Not as much as it was, remember, in 2019, but then the Congress and AAP were contesting separately. How is this translating into seats? 6 to 7, a near clean sweep, if not a clean sweep, for the NDA in Delhi. They had a clean sweep in 2014, clean sweep in 2019, and if Pradeep Gupta's numbers are right, and we still hope that Pradeep Gupta is bang on, he is predicting a clean sweep in Delhi. So this is not so good news for the Aam Aadmi Party alliance with the Congress, as these numbers are showing 0 to 1 in Delhi and a solid 10% vote share difference. Pradeep, 7 out of 7. Why are you always giving this 0 to 1, whether it's a Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh? You want to play safe or what is it?
No, what's that one seat जो फंसी हुई है?
फंसी सीट इज चांदनी चौक एंड न्यू दिल्ली, क्योंकि दोनों जगह पे मुश्किल होता है सर्वे करना।
न्यू दिल्ली ऑल्सो।
न्यू दिल्ली ऑल्सो, बट चांदनी चौक थोड़ी सी ज्यादा क्लोज कॉन्टेस्ट है देन न्यू दिल्ली।
So
Otherwise, all 5 seats are safe.
Chandni Chowk, of course, is a seat with a large minority population,
yes.
A large trader population.
Yes.
It has in JP Agarwal of the Congress a strong candidate that the Congress has. Preeti, you follow Delhi very closely. Are you surprised when you see that in a Chandni Chowk is possibly the only constituency where this alliance has a chance? What's happened to the AAP and Congress on the ground?
Well, Rajdeep, it's actually a misnomer that Chandni Chowk is a minority-dominated seat.
I didn't say minority, I said large numbers.
It's actually a Hindu-dominated seats, but, I would think the Aam Aadmi Party would be watching these numbers very closely, because if you remember, the entire campaign has been jail ka jawab vote se. So is this going to be now a referendum on sympathy? Did Arvind Kejriwal get the sympathy? Because they have actually gone to the voters on the plank of jail ka jawab vote se. Ab vote to as per our survey nahi mil raha hai, because it's only 0 to 1. So what happens with Arvind Kejriwal here? What would also be interesting is how it reflects in a state of Punjab where Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. This is his toughest hour. If these numbers translate, that it does mean that Arvind Kejriwal hasn't been able to garner that kind of sympathy that he would have hoped to.
So far, Rashid Kidwai, it's bad news for the Congress virtually in every part of the country. They can only clutch onto straws in Bihar, in Rajasthan. But look at this, you tie up with the Aam Aadmi Party, which was your adversary for all these years. It's not working in a general election, certainly. What is the messaging that's going on?
For the opposition, that Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi can come together and yet they come out short. If you look at the community-wise breakup, virtually in all communities, the BJP enjoys a hefty lead over the India alliance. Now, amongst the Muslims, massive consolidation quite naturally. Amongst the Dalits, you've got the India alliance head. But look at the more dominant communities like the OBCs and the general caste and the others. You've got the BJP with a very big lead. It just kind of makes the opposition feel, oh my God, what do we do? Rahul Gandhi and Kejriwal can get together and yet get hammered at the
Rashid, why don't you reflect on the Congress? Because the Congress seems to have, as Preeti said, AAP has to reflect, but so does the Congress.
No, I just want to come in with one quick thing before Rashid comes in. The fact is, what has happened, or actually what didn't happen on ground, has been vote transfer, which both parties realize. The vote hasn't transferred from the Aam Aadmi Party to the Congress or vice versa, and you can see that on ground because they need to fight a state election later. They can't seem to be supporting the candidate on ground.
Rashid.
During the break, I had a conversation with the Congress leader and they were saying that, look, there are just too many, close seats and they all seem to be going in favor of BJP. They think it will not, result in that. For instance, in Delhi, they think there are 4 seats where Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, Mahbub Mishra seat included, are in very close, contest. So, law of averages would apply. They say that perhaps this survey is not reflecting law of averages.
Rahul Verma, you wanted to enter?
I think there are 2 points. One, in Delhi, BJP, every seat, the margin was more than 2.5 lakh, right? So that basically is a very, very large margin to swing. Second, I think BJP has changed candidates in 6 out of 7 constituency, trying to take away all kinds of anti-incumbency sentiments that might have developed against many of their MPs. And third, I think Congress and AP in Lok Sabha elections, so even when AP was winning Vidhan Sabha election, Delhi is the classic example of split ticket voting. AP in Vidhan Sabha and BJP in Lok Sabha.
That's right, because if you look at these numbers, actually the Aam Aadmi Party had even lower numbers in 2019 Lok Sabha. In the Vidhan Sabha is where they dominated. So you've got this split ticket taking place across the country and you've got the Modi factor. We've also got the heat wave factor. Let's give you our hot seat, our cool hot seat from Delhi. Remember, all these 7 seats were looked at very closely. Delhi gets a disproportionate attention, some believe. But let's take a look at which are the seats in Delhi which were closely looked at in Pradeep's poll and what they're saying at the moment. This is our cool Hawa one, Kanhaiya Kumar versus Manoj Tiwari in Northeast Delhi. As of now, we are predicting Manoj Tiwari ahead. Am I right, Pradeep Gupta, in this hot seat at the moment?
You are absolutely right. हवा नहीं AC चल रहा है इस सीट के ऊपर मनोज तिवारी के फेवर में.
AC चल रहा है.
You think he's
winning comfortably?
No, he is not close contest in this seat.
Yeah, not at all.
But that's really where it was unfair, because when we spoke to Kanhaiya Kumar, he said, I wish, if I'd got Begusarai, I'd spent some time there, I had some kind of a network there. They didn't give me that seat. They've sent me here with so few days to be able to mount a campaign.
Perpetually considered as an outsider. The state unit only was not backing him. He was seen as a paradrop leader. And all this dhapli politics, it doesn't work on the ground. No? You need organizational might to be able to have people on the booth.
You see,
who will go and contest
this is a classic seat in that sense.
Okay.
You see, the Delhi unit often did not know who their 7 candidates are going to be till the last
And the
moment.
candidates didn't know
So you
whether
see,
they
the
would be
Congress,
conceded.
and that's why I
That's the
said the
other problem.
Congress is going to have to do a lot of introspection on candidate selection.
I want to go across now to a leader we'll be hearing a lot more about in the months and years to come. His name is Annamalai. He heads the BJP state unit in Tamil Nadu. And he's a man to watch out for, make no mistake. He used to be called like a Singham when he was in the police. Now he heads the BJP. Now, he's loved and hated at the same time. Loved because he's fought and built a position for himself. Some think that he split from the AIDMK too soon to score a personal political point, and the BJP may have been better off had they fought with the AIDMK. So, Annamalai, welcome. Great to have you. It's much nicer to be in the studios than when we last met in Hyderabad. It was scorching hot. You're looking a bit little downcast. Is that because Coimbatore, Pradeep Gupta seems to be suggesting may not come your way? But you seem to be doing well. Your vote share is going up in Tamil Nadu.
He's in contest.
He's in contest in a tough fight. But even Annamalai knows that. Annamalai, welcome.
Sir, thank you, sir. And definitely, Coimbatore, we would love to give a pleasant surprise to Pradeep Gupta ji on June 4th, and we should win comfortably. And more importantly, I think the larger picture is Modi ji has to come back with a larger mandate that has to be a great attestation to what we have done in the last 10 years. That is more important to us. In Tamil Nadu, we have to open, we have to enter in all places, all 39 seats. For the last 20 years, we haven't contested more than 6-7 seats in Tamil Nadu. This is the very first time BJP is contesting in some Lok Sabha, where for the past 20 years, we haven't contested. So for us, the goals are very clear and our target is very clear. And come June 4, and since you have given a direction where the vote share might go, how the seats might land up, and Tamil Nadu, the southern states will do extremely well, sir. We are extremely delighted, at least looking at the direction.
Can I therefore ask you, when you said southern states, was this election, Annamalai, not just in Tamil Nadu, but also in Kerala, to some extent in Andhra, about expanding your footprint and thereby hoping that this is a platform for 2026 Vidhan Sabha in a Tamil Nadu, 2026 Vidhan Sabha in a Kerala? This is your trailer. It's given you a foothold. Would you go back to a regional party to tie up like AIDMK, or do you want to fight now on your own?
In our party, the decisions are always taken by our parliamentary board, the senior leaders. But what has happened today in Tamil Nadu, at least we have proven a point that BJP is growing and we are not riding on anybody's shoulder. And there is definitely a vote base that BJP is having. And normally in Tamil Nadu, if you see, BJP is called as Nota party. And they say that BJP will score below Nota. ADMK, as recent as yesterday morning, they said BJP will score below Nota. So there's no ego here, sir. We are not in politics to satisfy our own personal ego. But we are very here.
But if we look at the vote share data for Tamil Nadu, a simple reading would suggest that if the AIDMK and the BJP had fought together in an ideal world, you would have brought the DMK alliance down further. Because you fought separately, the DMK and the Congress still come out on top. If you'd found a way of being able to fight together, Tamil Nadu would have yielded rich dividends for the NDA.
I'm definitely not here to teach politics to you, sir. You're better at it than me. But there are two things. Politics is not necessarily arithmetic. It is always chemistry. And the cadres have to mix. People have to take ownership and people have to support the other party candidate. Coimbatore is a classic example where an alliance in 2019, we scored less than BJP standing alone as a third party, along with the ADMK. So chemistry was not there. That is my personal feeling and a lot of feeling as well. With no offense to ADMK, but it is very important. In politics, you have to take a principled stand sometime. That to 10 years of Modi ji, so much outreach for Tamil Nadu. I would say when chemistry is great, normally what you say, the polling percentage might add up and you might have a bigger number. When the chemistry is not there, many a time internal sabotage happens. Many a time the work doesn't happen at the booth level. So I would say...
Okay, so Pradeep Gupta has a question for you. I want to show you what's happening in Coimbatore in that hot seat, cool air infographic that we have. It seems to suggest that Annamalai is putting up a tough fight and he's doing well. But Ganpati Rajkumar of the DMK seems to have the edge. आपने उसका मूड खराब कर दिया गुप्ता जी.
नहीं राहुल, मूड खराब का सवाल नहीं. मैं आपका दूसरे पे
reply in English.
नहीं.
This is Tamil Nadu.
Okay, so on the point of alliance with the AIDMK, मैं हिंदी की कहावत है इसलिए हिंदी में बोलना चाह रहा था कि जब तक बैसाखी पे चलते रहेंगे तो कभी चलना नहीं सीखेंगे. This is what the strategy. This is the strategy I think adopted by the BJP in Tamil Nadu. जब तक आप AIDMK के साथ alliance में जाएंगे तो खुद का inroad नहीं करेंगे, number one. Number two, on the other side, AIDMK, what they thought of. Tamil Nadu has a tradition of changing sides every 5 years. So they thought this time AIDMK is in a very good position, riding on the anti-incumbency of state DMK government. So they would get same seat like 35 seats in 2014, and they couldn't concede the more number of seats to BJP.
No, but it's sending a message to the AIDMK as well. If they end up with 0 seats, it's a very strong message to the AIDMK.
I disagree with my friend Pradeep Gupta. That's not the reasoning. The reasoning is very clear. The AIDMK realized that their battle was 2026. Palanisamy needs to hold on to his party. He needs to show that the party is intact. Annamalai also did what was right for him. He realized he needs to show, as he said on the show, that the BJP can also fight an election on their own. I am interested to see what happens in 2026. In 2026, is Annamalai ready to also fight on his own, or is Annamalai wanting to go with the BJP,
no, but this
with the AIDMK?
This could make the... Are you hoping, Annamalai, that this makes the AIDMK recalculate, give the BJP more space, or do you want to go it alone even in the assembly elections? Because if the AIDMK wins no seats, their vote share comes down, the BJP grows. It's a strong message to Palanisamy as well.
The common goal is to defeat the DMK. That is very important. I think AIDMK also realizes in the next 6 months, 8 months. The common goal is to defeat the DMK. Rest, I'm not getting into it, sir. It's too early. We are just in the exit poll. We might not be very sure how the next 8 months might pan out. But we are very disciplined Karyakartas. The goal is to grow the party. At the same time, we don't want a party that thrives on anti-national comments to rule Tamil Nadu. So there is a short-term interest, there is a long-term play. So 100% I hope and pray that ADMK will realize that politics right now is not at all right. What happened, I'm making a lot of comments in the last 10-15 days in Tamil Nadu as well. I believe ADMK as a party has lost a direction where it wants to go. The moment you align with a party like SDPI, and then you do the chief minister, former chief minister, is in the same stage with the SDPI leader. It sends a very wrong message in Tamil Nadu. That to a party that was headed by Madam Jayalalitha. She has taken very tough stand against anti-national forces, terror forces. And you cannot just have alliance with anybody just for a 0.5%, 1% vote. And it's not for me to comment on ADMK, but I can talk for BJP that we are very happy where we are. We still have to grow a lot of minds to cover.
If the BJP ends up with more seats than the AIDMK, that's some message. The Prime Minister has tweeted, Annamalai, we'll have you back on the 4th. All the best for Coimbatore. Let's see what happens finally over there. The Prime Minister has tweeted, I want to take our viewers through what he said. The opportunistic India alliance failed to strike a chord with the voters. They are casteist, communal and corrupt. The alliance aimed at protecting a handful of dynasties failed to prevent a futuristic vision for the nation. Through the campaign, they only enhanced their expertise in one thing, which is Modi bashing. Such regressive politics has been rejected by the people. So he's declared that he's won, he's declared that he's back. That's the underlying message. That shows the level of confidence he has. The next tweet says, I would like to applaud each and every NDA Karyakarta across the length and breadth of India, often braving intense heat. I compliment them for meticulously explaining our development agenda to the people and motivating them to come out and vote. Our Karyakartas are our greatest strength. That's the first time we've heard from Prime Minister Modi after his Monbrat and Sadhana.
It's also perhaps, I could be corrected, the first time I've heard someone comment on an exit poll. Normally you comment on results day. When these kind of strong comments are being made on exit poll, obviously the Prime Minister has as much faith in Pradeep Gupta and across the board. And because the entire direction, if you do a poll of polls, the direction is entirely the same. There's not a single poll which is an outlier at the moment.
Their own polling is far more extensive than anything
I'm sure it is, but you normally don't comment on exit poll day. So that is unusual for him to comment on exit poll day claiming victory. You normally...
He's commenting on the closure of the polling.
Okay,
so, I mean, you can't say that it is...
You're taking it as the closure of the polling.
No, seriously, it's such a massive exercise has happened on the closure of the...
Let's move into the other states. We've got lots of states to go and we're going to go razor sharp through them. Let's go through Haryana first. Haryana party-wise and seat share at the moment. Remember, this was a state which last time was swept. 10 seats out of 10 went to the NDA. This time in Haryana, projected vote share, BJP 48%, Congress 40%, which is closer than last time because remember, AAP is also getting 4%. So if you add the numbers of Congress and AAP, and they were in coalition, AAP contesting one seat of Kurukshetra, 44, the margin has come down. Last time, the BJP alone had almost 60% of the vote share. Huge difference between 2019 in terms of vote share. But what about seats? At the end of the day, first past the post, you need to win seats. And this is what our poll is showing at the moment. BJP 6 to 8 out of 10. Congress 2 to 4. AAP not winning, JJP not winning. We've got an expert here in Preeti who tracks her home state very closely. Preeti, are you surprised with this? 2 to 4, again, much like Bihar, Jharkhand, India alliance, getting a bit of crumbs but not getting the major chunk of the seats?
No, I'm not surprised because my number itself was about 2 or 3 for the Congress and the alliance there. What's interesting is if you look at the fine print, the INLD, so the percentage it gets, it's practically taking that percentage away from the India alliance, which is the Aam Aadmi Party Congress combined in the state of Haryana. But, 3 is what I was looking at. Primarily the reason is, Rajdeep, that the Prime Minister is still widely popular where Haryana is concerned. Now, in the next 3 months when there will be state election, you will see this turn. Because then you will see the anti-incumbency is very strong and you will see possibly a big shot for the Congress to come in. But this time around, the main reason is the Prime Minister remains very, very popular. However, there have been issues in terms of the farm protest, the Agniveer, or also the sheer fact on that whole GT Karnar belt which had voted for the BJP.
The story of Haryana lies in the community-wise breakup. If you look at the Jat consolidation, 61% of the Jats said they voted for the Congress and in that one seat, the AAP, which is 20% up from the last time. So massive Jat consolidation in favor of the Congress in Haryana. If you look at the Dalits, 23% up from the last time. 51% of the Dalits said they voted for the Congress. That's 23% up from the last time. If you look also at the Jat Sikhs, 45% of the Jat Sikhs said they voted for the India Alliance. That's 21% up from the last time. Amongst the Gujars, amongst the Sainis, it's a little bit up, but not by very much. Amongst the OBCs, for example, the Congress is up 23% from the last time at 35%. The BJP is still at 60%. But the point that I'm making is, if you go community by community, the Congress has shown that its vote share in Haryana is going up. What does this mean, Pradeep Gupta, for the assembly elections in the state?
Assembly elections are generally, fought on a different dynamics altogether, and particularly in case of Haryana, where the Jat population is substantial 30% about. So it is a Jat versus non-Jat contest going to be there, even now, even then, in after
Rahul
3
Verma?
months.
So 2 points. One, I think BJP is from 2019, it got lesser vote shares in assembly elections, and this would happen even now. Their vote shares have come down substantially. And second, the reason there is a Jat consolidation happening because both INLD and JJP has collapsed. The combined vote share of INLD and JJP is now just 5%.
Actually the story in a way, out of all the states is simply this. There are 3 states where the BJP's vote share is over 55%. Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat. There the 2019 trend has stayed on. In all the other states of North India, the BJP has not got the bump factor, what we call the Balakot bump. Some called it the Balakot bump. What you've seen in some of these states is what I would call a normal election, where you're having caste consolidation taking place, shifting caste alignments. You're seeing the Jats in Haryana, you're seeing within the Meenas in Rajasthan, you're seeing change. But because there is the Modi factor, and we don't know how much that gives you, it gives you 5%, it gives you 10% in some states, Haryana will be competitive. What is very clear from these numbers, Haryana Vidhan Sabha will be an extremely competitive election.
Rajdeep, the Modi factor is 13%. We have a very specific answer, state by state. If you ask how many people voted the way that they did for the BJP, you have a specific number. In Haryana, amongst the BJP voters, it's 13%. As an overall of all the voters who voted, 6% said they voted the way they did because of Prime Minister Modi himself.
So, see, that's what I was saying, that the Prime Minister is widely popular. The fine print of the caste is also interesting, Rajdeep, because for the first time, if you've seen a rise in the Dalit vote, and that's interesting because the Chamars, which are the Jatavs, have always voted for the Congress. The the Chamars are the ones, and this time that number has risen. Because this is the first for the Congress.
Because you take away the Modi factor, you take away that 6%, and the BJP goes below the Congress AAP number.
Absolutely.
So that's why, you see, the challenge is, will the Congress and AAP remain together in a Haryana assembly election? If they do, they may have half a chance. Let's give you our hot seat, our cool hot seat for Haryana. It's a fascinating one because it's got Naveen Jindal, who shifted, remember, from the Congress, has won on a Congress ticket twice before, and he was contesting in Kurukshetra against Sushil Gupta of the Aam Aadmi Party. And we are told it's a close fight. Now, these are the close fights that the opposition needs to win if they have any chance in this election.
This
but
is also a seat where the third party is Abhay Chautala from the INLD.
That's right.
So even if it's the 3% that the INLD gets, a lot of that percentage comes in from this seat, which he's pulling away, which
that's
is the
right. So it makes that there wasn't a perfect alliance of the opposition in Kurukshetra. Let's turn from there to a fascinating state of Punjab, because this is a state, perhaps the only state in the country, where we have a quadrangular fight. 4 parties, each of whom at different times have dominated, well, the BJP in the center, but the other 3 in Punjab, all of them were fighting independently. How is Punjab voting? What is the Axis My India poll saying for the battleground state of Punjab? Take a look at these numbers at the moment. There is the Punjab farmer coming in. The BJP getting 26%. Impressive considering where the BJP was when they were a junior partner to the Akalis. The Congress 31%, AAP 18%, and this is a turnaround. Remember here, both the AAP and the Congress are fighting each other. AAP won 92 out of 117 seats in the Vidhan Sabha just a couple of years ago. That has changed. The Congress has dominated the AAP in their direct fight, in a way, in Punjab. How is this translating into seats? Where is that tractor now headed in Punjab? Well, the tractor is headed in the direction of the Congress. The Congress party has struggled in several parts of the country, but not so much in Punjab. 13 seats, Congress leading in 7 to 9, AAP 0 to 2, BJP 2 to 4. So maybe in some of the cities in particular, in Hoshiarpur, Gurdaspur, maybe possibly Ludhiana, there is a possible consolidation of the Hindu voter behind the BJP. But the real message here is for Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party. Dominated it 2 years ago and now struggling. This is a real turnaround, Rahul Verma. I mean, the Aam Aadmi Party, much like the Congress, is having a very bad day in the office. The Congress can at least clutch on to what is happening in Punjab. But in the 2 states, 0 at the moment in Delhi and just 0 to 2 in Punjab.
True. I think since 2022, when AAP had started getting some national traction, in polls, it has been coming down. I think the central government took a very calculated risk in arresting Arvind Kejriwal. This was a calculated risk to politically finish off AAP. And if this happens, that in Delhi and in Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party doesn't score, then it's on a downhill.
But there's another thing that we see in the data for Punjab, which is just how the BJP's vote share cutting across communities has actually gone up. This is the first time the BJP is fighting by itself. Amongst the Sikh Dalits, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 10% to 21. Amongst the Mazhabi Sikh Dalits, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 13% to 20. Amongst the Hindu Dalits, it's gone up by 20% to 32. Amongst the Hindu OBCs, it's now at 37, that's up 20. Amongst the Sikh general community, in our poll, the BJP's picked up almost 3 out of 10 votes, 27. That's up 13% from the last time. Amongst the Jat Sikhs, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 10. Amongst the Hindu overall, the general, the BJP's vote share is up 31% from the last time at 45. So what that essentially shows is that the BJP in this poll very quickly has been able to spread across where, because they had an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party, it didn't, and they've poached. They've poached from wherever they could. They've brought leaders in, and it seems to have paid some...
I'll get both of you. Rajat first, then Shankar.
The Arun Jaitley model of sticking with SAD no matter what has, because of his unfortunate demise, and then BJP having that confidence to actually come out of that formula, has shed the baggage of the Akali Dal permanently. BJP was always said, and a lot of its grassroots organization people used to say that you have that potential to grow into at least 4 or 5 parliamentary seats and actually be a substantial player in the assembly election. That is now coming to fruition. And I think this given the numbers, Akali will stare at its further fall, and you might see that BJP will start occupying some level of an opposition vote, which Aam Aadmi Party becomes a lame duck with this vote share.
Shankar.
We have to recognize one thing. If these numbers are right, we might have to sort of accept that the halo that Aam Aadmi Party painted around its own head 10 years back has completely worn off, that a party which was born against corruption, that its leader is arrested for corruption, I think shows the completion of the cycle of karma.
Yeah, how do you see that, Preeti? Is this an election which the arm, if these are the numbers, where does the arm go from here?
The way I see it is, in Delhi, yes, if it is 7 to the BJP, it is a referendum on the leadership, especially on the sympathy vote where Arvind Kejriwal is concerned. In Punjab, I'd actually think it's terrible candidate selection, Rajdeep, where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. If you speak with the cadre, you can hear it from them that the candidates were not selected aptly and they should have maybe applied themselves better.
Okay, so we're joined at this time by Pratap Singh Bajwa, who heads the Congress in Punjab. Bajwa ji, Sat Sri Akal, welcome. It's good to have you with us. Now, the good news is that you seem to largely be holding on to where you were in terms of your tally from the last time. The bad news from your perspective is that the BJP seems to have found a foothold in Punjab. 2 to 4 seats is what we're predicting, and cutting across communities, the BJP's vote share has gone up quite substantially. Now, the Congress and the others have been trying to say that the BJP is unpopular, that the Prime Minister is unpopular in Punjab. Our post-poll study from Punjab seems to suggest their vote share has gone up everywhere. You're ahead, no doubt, but the BJP has also made some inroads, so that whole narrative seems to have kind of come apart in this poll.
I can't see you.
Don't worry about seeing us, just tell us the answer. What do you think? Don't worry about whether you can see us or not. We're on a live links, don't stress about that. But your sense of the BJP making some inroads while you're holding on. The AAP has crashed from its assembly tally. 42% is what they had in the assembly. They're at 18% now. And the Congress is holding up and the Akalis haven't gained much. The BJP's vote share seems to have gone up.
Yeah, you are right. But Rahul, couple of weeks earlier, even almost a month and a half earlier, I was in a program with you and I predicted that very time. And you had put in a kind of a thing with me that the BJP is going to do very well. I told you they won't win even a single seat. And I told you we can have a bet on it. And I hope you are agreeing with that. Obviously,
No,
this I must...
Bajwa Saab, that's the surprise. Our survey is showing 2 to 4 for the BJP and 2 to 3 for the Akalis. It's actually the Aam Aadmi Party which is getting wiped out at the moment. That's the surprise from our poll, which might be good news for you, since you have a huge problem with the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah, I have a huge problem. The whole of the cadre has a huge problem with them. If the people of Punjab have done this, they have done the right thing. But one thing is for sure, I can again bet with you, Rajdeep. There are just 3 more days. BJP will not win a single. Akalis may win one.
But in the
Akalis may win just one. BJP will not even win a single. They are performing well. Their vote bank is going up because a certain section has voted on the name of Ram Mandir. If they are going to stick with them in the next elections, there's a big question mark. Because
sir, can I ask you one quick question?
Yeah, go ahead, Preeti. Preeti, why don't you go ahead? 1 minute, sir. Please take
In hindsight, if these numbers hold true and you've given a BJP an in Punjab, shouldn't in hindsight have the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party for this election together like you did in Delhi?
Do you think we should have closed our shop?
No, I'm asking you, sir, it could have at least augured well in terms of numbers.
No, forget about these numbers. We are not concerned. The thing is, there are around 60% of, I told you, the votes over there, which will not go towards either the Akalis. It's a secular vote. That secular vote is neither going towards the Akalis or the BJP. This number, what you are telling me, how much of percentage has they gone up, BJP? 26%.
So BJP, as per our poll, has gone up to as high as 26%. That's the worrying sign for your party. You don't believe that?
What implication does this have for the Bhagwant Mann government in Punjab? If this is how they get hammered, their vote share at only 18%, the Congress at 31%, you're down from the 40 you had last time. The BJP's vote share going up 16% to 26%. What implications does this have for the Bhagwant Mann government in Punjab, sir?
See, I don't agree with these figures. Akalis are not at 20. Akalis will not cross 15%. And BJP will not cross 20. So already there's a 11% excessive vote to both these parties. I don't agree at all. So, wait for the fourth. I am telling you, I promise you one thing. Akalis maximum can win one. BJP is not winning even a single seat. Their vote margin will not go up more than 20. I am for sure. They are
we
only
thought you'd say thank you for showing us that we are doing so well. In Punjab, we seem to be doing better than elsewhere in the country. Bajwa Sahab would have said, thank you, India, today. तुसी तो सारे पोल को ही खराब किए जा रहे हो.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Bajwa Sahab, we'll meet you on Tuesday.
I'll wait for you and just note down my numbers. Just note down. BJP is not winning a single. Akalis can win one. BJP will not go above 20. Akalis will not go above 50. And that 11% number, that is going to other parties. That could be a couple of more percentage for the Congress and could be 1 or 2 or 3% more for the AAP.
Okay, let's leave it
true,
there.
Because see, the secular vote of Punjab...
I appreciate you joining us. We have to leave you because we've got a couple of states and then Rahul will take over from me. As I get older, I find it more and more difficult to stand for long period. Hot seat Chandigarh. Cool, hot fan. That's what it's called. It's a cool, hot seat. And the hot seat is Chandigarh. Manish Tiwari versus Sanjay Tandon. It's quite a battle there. It's a close fight again. Remember, this is the unusual nature of it. In Chandigarh, you've got the AAP and Congress fighting together. But in Punjab, they are fighting against each other. There was a Congress spokesperson who was doing a press conference in Chandigarh where he had to talk about how AAP and they were close buddies, went to Jalandhar 2 hours later and said how AAP is a party that must be voted out. That's the problem, as the spokesperson mentioned.
From grace, from 40% to 18%. 42% is what they had in the assembly election.
This could be huge. If these numbers hold.
It just shows how the ground is shifted from underneath.
Bhagwant Maan just sent me a message. He said, I will also come on your show and I will prove how your Pradeep Gupta has got all his numbers wrong. So we'll wait to see what happens in Punjab on Tuesday. Punjab is a tough state in a quadrangular. It's not easy to predict numbers in a quadrangular state. But let's move on to Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh has been in the news for all kinds of reasons in this election. Kangana Ranaut contesting there from Mandi, Anand Sharma going back to contesting a Lok Sabha election from Kangra. But let's look at the numbers. 4 seats on offer. The BJP had swept all 4 and had got the biggest vote that they got in any state in northern India, 68% last time. They're down to 64, but that's still huge. 64%, much like in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, these are the BJP heartland states. Remember, in a state where they lost the assembly just 15 months ago. Congress down to 34%, others are 2%. How does this translate into seats? When you've got a 30% gap, there can only be one winner in a state like Himachal. And that winner is the BJP, all four. So it appears that my friend Rahul Kanwal's friend, Kangana Ranaut, could actually be winning an election.
But there's a larger meaning.
Rahul is blushing.
No, I'm not blushing.
He's blushing all over. He was the first to discover her. I was told you're the first mainline anchor to interview Kangana all those years ago.
This is all just Rajdeep trying to get me into trouble. We'll leave that. We wish all candidates well, including Kangana Ranaut and Vikramaditya Singh. Just let Rajdeep's outswinging ball just go past safely to the keeper and not poke your bad at it. I mean, that's what we need to do.
But you know, again, this is the same thing, Rahul Verma, and I'll bring you in, Preeti, in a moment, because you've got a state election, which the Congress wins 16 months ago, and you now have a Lok Sabha where the BJP sweeps. So the Indian voter seems to have decided, Modi for Delhi, I can live with whoever with a Sukhu in Shimla.
So I think there are 2 things happening. First, in some states, BJP chief ministers were not, did not provide good governance, and they paid a price for it. It was Karnataka there, and I think even Madhya Pradesh. Second, of course, Modi pulls some of the votes. But in Himachal, you have to also remember, while seat gap was large, vote gap between Congress and BJP was just 1%.
Sure.
Right? But
now it's 30%.
Yeah.
Preeti, you want to make a quick point and then I'll get you, Rashid.
There are 6 Vidhan Sabha assembly seats also going to vote at the same time.
That's right.
It could be very possible that by the end of June, the government might shift where Himachal is concerned.
Yes, Rashid, more bad news for the Congress party. How is the Congress party going to deal with all these losing these direct fights with the BJP? Is there some problem? Will there be introspection if these numbers hold, Rashid?
Absolutely. But this is also very surprising that Prime Minister Modi has made no inroads in Punjab in 2014 or 19, and suddenly there is a Modi factor in Punjab. So this, survey, while I am not contesting, survey findings, some of the things are very because the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress have 67% of vote share. Suddenly there is a decline of 18% vote share. On what grounds? Coming back to Himachal, there are by-elections are going on, as Preeti was saying, and this has a bearing. If Congress loses those, even 2 out of these 6 seats, there will be change of the fall of government. And therefore, the stakes are very high for Congress, and there are a couple of seats in Himachal where there will be the fierce contest. What we are seeing, Rajdeep, wherever there is, we talking about close contest, fair contest, it is going in favor of BJP.
Okay, now, by popular demand of Rahul Kanwal, we are coming to the cool hot seat of Mandi. He wanted to know what is the status of Kangana Ranaut in this election. He's smiling away, blushing away. Kangana Ranaut versus Vikramaditya Singh. Tough contest. Vikramaditya Singh, minister, son of Veerbhadra Singh. So someone who's had who's been a entrenched leader. Along comes Kangana Ranaut and appears at the moment, as per our survey, to be winning the seat. I mean, the BJP has changed 134 candidates, sitting candidates. Kangana is one of them. Shankar, that seems to suggest that the BJP realized local anti-incumbency. Let's bring in new faces. If some of them have glamour, so much the better.
I think one of the points that we missed out on the Himachal story is just a few weeks back, they couldn't get their Rajya Sabha candidate elected.
Yes.
And they are still figuring out who messed it up, whether it was the chief minister or the others.
It was the Congress itself who messed it up.
I'm sorry to interrupt you all. We have to go to Uttarakhand, another hill state, beautiful state again. 5 seats on offer, remember, in the state of Uttarakhand. How is Uttarakhand shaping up? Take a look at the numbers for Uttarakhand as they stand at the moment. The BJP projected vote share here again 60%. Congress 35%. These are all the direct contest states. I come back to it. BJP, Congress, direct contest. BJP is sweeping all these states. Others 5%. How is this translating into seats? Remember, 5 seats on offer. Congress had a few heavyweights like their former Chief Minister Harish Rawat contesting. No contest. 5 BJP, none to the Congress. So across the parts where the BJP swept, we now have 5 such states to give you evidence. Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal, Uttarakhand, and also Delhi. So you've got states, irrespective, there's no Balakot, no Pulwama, and even so in these states, the BJP is scoring well over 50%, Rahul. There's a story there.
No, but it also suggests how a lot of people came back and said, oh, there's no Hawa, there's a silent election, people are unhappy with Modi. I mean, now if this is the way the poll sets up, then what were these people doing? Who were they meeting? What hookah pani were they doing? Because the fact is that while the margins may come down in some seats, the BJP is still winning. And ultimately, that's what Rajat gave the BJP top leadership a lot of hope. They're saying, margin bahut hai, gap bahut hai. So it will appear that there is turbulence, but when your flight is flying from one destination to another, there may be pockets of air turbulence. It doesn't mean that the plane's going to crash.
Absolutely right. I think the problem is that people have started living in their own bubbles. That YouTuber bubble that exists, people who are constantly reading the news being put out there as direct competition to actually a data-backed journalism, when you start living in that bubble, you're only hearing your voice. That echo chambers that are existing are actually convincing a lot of people, even within the Congress party, that is the alternate reality and the real reality. Look at post-election, they are not putting out any other number. They are putting out aggregate YouTube numbers are greater than the aggregate YouTube numbers of the BJP. Clearly falling into a trap that they are only hearing each other out, and in that hearing they are actually imagining that our public rallies are getting all of these people and we are suddenly building up a narrative. And
speaking
all
of YouTube numbers,
yeah,
in a political context, they are what they are. It doesn't matter as much. But at this moment, India Today Television's live YouTube concurrents are more than that of Republic World, CNN Network 18, Times Now, NDTV, WION, First Post, NewsX, Crux, whatever that is, ANI News and Mirror Now put together. So if you look at the
Put
kind
together?
of put together, sir, put together. I just did the maths. If you add up the live concurrence of all our competitors, Republic World, Network 18, Times Now, NDTV, Vion, First Post, NewsX, ANI, Mirror Now, and you look only at India Today television, and there's only other one person who's demonstrated this kind of domination, which is Prime Minister Modi. Outside of that, there is no other scenario where you'll have a situation where one network has more people watching. Imagine, when Rajdeep was in another network, we had a tougher contest. When there were other people in other networks, there's a different situation. At this moment, it's a one TV network show. Complete one network show. India Today television dominating the poll coverage. More live concurrence than all.
Should I crack a joke? Since you mentioned, you see what you did, India Today poached Rajdeep. You see, that's what you have to do. You moved me from one channel to the other.
A lot of people
Congress should do
switch
that.
it on to look at you, to look at your various expressions.
One of the things that is very interesting, 440 odd candidates of the BJP, guess how many of them have moved from other parties to the BJP in the last 10 years? I was staggered by the number.
25%.
Sorry?
25%.
25%. Over 100 candidates. This is one of the staggering facts. Over 100 candidates of the BJP contesting this election were in another party in the last 10 years and have moved to the BJP. So the moral of the story, if you can't beat them, try and join them.
No, but we're very, very thankful. On behalf of every single person who works at the India Today network, we want to thank all of you who are watching at this time. This is history of a different kind being scripted. To have more live concurrence than all other competitor networks put together, is very, very significant. It means a lot to us. So we're very thankful on behalf of our network for your time, for your trust, for your faith. Thank you so much. And we hope that we can keep this going over the next few days.
Okay, hot seat, cool air is what I'm told. I must say very clearly, hot seat, cool air is in a cool place where we all should be. Is Pauri Garhwal. That's where we should all be instead of in Delhi at 49 degrees Celsius. And Anil Balooni, the BJP's media in charge, a former journalist, is the one who at the moment appears to be winning his debut election against Ganesh Godial. So Anil Balooni has plenty of reason to smile, and he is an important figure because he is the one who often interacts between journalists and the BJP party. So Anil Balooni, one of the many 134 new faces that the BJP is given tickets to, he is one of them. Remember these two factors, more than 100 tickets given to those who've switched parties over the last 10 years and 134 new faces there like Anil Balooni. Okay, let's turn from there to someone who switched also. Himanta Biswa Sarma state. Let's turn to the state of Assam. Remember, this also used to be a Congress bastion at one time. What's happening in the state of Assam? Let's take a look at how the 2024 projected vote share, lovely tea gardens of that beautiful state of Assam, BJP 42%, others 11%, Congress 35%. If you ever want to understand how Indian politics has changed in the last decade, look at Assam. The BJP used to be a marginal force, tagged along to the Assam Gana Parishad at one stage. Today, it is the #1 party. Congress is reduced 7% behind in the state of Assam. How is this translating into numbers as per the Axis My India exit poll? These are the numbers. 14 seats on offer, BJP 9 to 11. So the same as last time. Congress 2 to 4, others 0. This is virtually the same as the situation last time. Himanta Biswa Sarma is hoping, he was telling me, to get at least 12 out of 14. But that's not happening as per our polls. And it would be interesting, Rahul. Rajat Sethi, you're the man from the Northeast who tracks it. Are you surprised by these numbers or expected lines?
So I think it was in 2016 when I was leading the campaign there, and that's how the foundations were laid, which are permanent foundations, by the way.
Bhi ek dal diya. Pradeep Gupta, all of us are becoming marketing.
I'm just saying that, things have gone up and down, but not in the Northeast. And you will see that in across states, right from Arunachal, Manipur, Assam, everywhere. The story is same. But all leaderships successively have not paid attention to the Northeast. That is the singular thing that affects people, that there is somebody sitting in Delhi who cares about
Rajat Sethi, you have Congressified the BJP across the Northeast. Where is Himanta Biswa Sarma? Aapne le liye sabko apne party mein. You are Congress Yukt. BJP today, Northeast is Congress Yukt.
Congress Yukt, but minus the Congress ideology. Congress ideology has been left, and it is right now rotting in the Northeast. And let me tell you over there, they have very carefully ensured that AIUDF doesn't partner with the Congress. The Muslim base that is there, which is, by the way, 40% Muslim base, compare it with West Bengal, and still BJP manages to sweep those many seats, is a lesson, is a case study for BJP to manage such high minority seats.
Yes.
2 points. First, I think in Northeast, the party which dominates in New Delhi, they also dominate in Northeast. And this has happened in the past when Congress was, even UPA was in...
Assam was a bit of an exception though. Assam used to be an exception.
Tarun Gogoi was leading in Assam and Atal Bihari Vajpayee was there in
Assam was an exception, but go ahead.
By and large, that has been the trend. Second, I think what has been happening, where Rajat is right, that in Northeast, some states are going to have a very, very solid BJP base, even when BJP is going to lose, say, at the central level, because a new kind of politics has emerged there.
In the interest of transparency, I want to show our viewers the live YouTube concurrence just at this moment, and I did some very basic maths. I added up all our competitor channels. So I added up all our competitor channels. You can see that on the screen right now. If you add up the live concurrence at this moment on Republic, Network 18, Times Now, NDTV, Vion, First Post, ANI, Mirror Now and Crux, and you look just at India Today TV, ANI, Mirror Now and Crux, and you look just at India Today TV. So on your screen right now, you look just at India Today's vote share graph in most states, because even when you add up all the competition and multiply it into 2, it still falls well short of this graph, which is running away with the exit poll coverage. I don't even know what to say, but ever before. To be more than twice all your competitors. Rajdeep, you're feeling bad that you never had this kind of domination earlier. Is that what this is about?
I'm not going to even go down that route.
Feeling bad that you never had this kind of domination earlier. Is that what this is about?
I'm not going to even go down that route. I have been told by my producer, can we go quickly through the... Because at 9 o'clock we have to come to our home state, or some of our home states of Maharashtra. But let's quickly go one by one. These are fantastic figures that Rahul has put up. He's mastered the art, like all of them who go to Harvard, whether it's Pradeep Gupta or Rahul. They know when to market themselves and the channel, which is great. Okay, let's go quickly. Tripura, 2 seats on offer. And remember, here too we've seen churning that's taken place. The Tipra Mota has joined the BJP not too long ago. 2 out of 2. Is in Tripura. No surprise there. Pradyut Dev Burman also joining hands with the BJP. Let's come.
Biplav Dev, former CM, also comes back.
That's right. Biplav Dev comes back to Parliament. He was removed from a chief ministership, which is another story how he was removed. Rajat is smiling. BJP in Sikkim. Here it is the Sikkim Democratic Front, presumably, which is the one party which is leading, but it will be part of the NDA or the NEDA alliance, the Northeast Democratic Alliance. Let's turn to Nagaland. Now, Nagaland is 1 seat again on offer. This seat, it appears, as per the Axis My India poll in Nagaland, is going to the Congress party. So the Congress is winning the 1 seat of Nagaland. Let's turn to Mizoram. The lovely state, Aizawl, has the most beautiful roads, very, very clean. I haven't seen cleaner roads than in Aizawl. BJP, this seat going to the Congress. So the Congress winning in Mizoram, winning in Nagaland, BJP winning in Tripura. Let's turn from there to Meghalaya. Meghalaya, 1 seat on offer, 2 seats on offer, if I'm not mistaken, in Meghalaya. And those 2 seats at the moment are going one to others, which is the NPP, I'm presuming, of Conrad Sangma, 1 seat to the NDA, but he should be presumably put within the NDA khata. So 2 seats. We'll have to see who the other is there. We'll check that in a moment. Let's turn to Arunachal Pradesh, where, remember, interestingly, tomorrow we'll have assembly elections, so we'll be counting that too. BJP leading in both. So Prema Khandu, also former congressman. Every time I say that, Rajat seems troubled that these congressmen who've embraced BJP ideology doing rather well. Both the seats going to BJP. But there is Manipur, which I'm going to ask my producers to also tell me in a moment. There are 2 seats on offer in Manipur, but in the meantime, we are moving to J&K, and then we'll come to Manipur. In Jammu and Kashmir, remember, this is a state which is hoping, a union territory hoping to get statehood once again, go to the polls in September, all going well. 5 seats on offer. Interesting. India Alliance leading in 3, that's the seats in the valley. NDA leading in 2, presumably that's Jammu and Udhampur. So you've got the states still split apart in that sense. And we've got 1 seat in Ladakh. And here there's a bit of a turnaround, because this is the one seat which is actually being won by the Congress, was won last time by the BJP. We'll try and get those Manipur numbers for you also in a moment. There were 2 seats on offer there in Manipur. But net, the BJP continues to hold these northeast seats very strong. And that's the interesting thing, Rahul. Small union territories, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, northeast, all of them add up. There was a time when the Congress would dominate these seats. Now the major national parties, the BJP, they dominate these seats. And we've reached, Rahul, 287 out of 543. So we've crossed the halfway mark. The BJP has touched 200. So the BJP with UP, Bengal, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, still to come, has reached halfway around 192.
Dr. Abhishek Singhvi is joining us now, senior leader of the Congress party. Dr. Singhvi, welcome. This poll seems to be suggesting that the BJP is doing well in areas where even those in the BJP weren't certain, in states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, the BJP making inroads in Karnataka, they're holding on. What are you making of the numbers of the exit poll that have been put out so far, Dr. Singhvi?
Okay, let me start by congratulating India Today and both Rajdeep and you, because whether you congratulate the Congress or the BJP, you certainly need to congratulate the exit polls you're doing on yourselves, which shows that you are viewed more than anybody else.
Put together.
That's very sweet of you. Aapke muh mein ghee shakkar. How nice, Dr. Singhvi. What a lovely way to start. Very nice. Thank you.
Number 2, if the figures which you are giving and some others are giving are true, then of course it is very depressing. Let me start with a very candid caveat. Actually, I rate your Mr. Pradeep Gupta very highly. He's one of the few psephologists whom I believe has a very earthy approach and is more accurate than the others. But we cannot go away from the fact that a lot of exit polls, not opinion, but exit polls have also been wrong, woefully wrong. With that caveat, I will tell you why I think that this is not so. Today, when they sat together, they spent a whole day going state by state and came up with a figure in the India Alliance meeting of 295. That also a lot of thought went to it, a lot of analysis went into it from local people. And it gave 220/235 to the BJP, which was also announced. Secondly, I think that, there is an overstatement in a lot of places. I was in Bangalore, even the worst critics, even some BJP people said that it will be double digit or worst scenario 9. I find that there is an overstatement, maybe in all the 60 seats of Kerala and Tamil Nadu put together, you may get 1 stray seat, but you're getting many more in the polls. I think that's where these correctives, and also
but if our numbers, Dr. Singhvi, you're a good lawyer. You're fighting a bad case, but you're a good lawyer. If our numbers are right, where would all the worthies who sat at Mallikarjun Kharge's house have gone wrong?
Well, if your numbers are right, obviously the winner is known. That happens in every contest. I think again, with a very big if, without accepting your if, but yes, on that big if, we fought the good fight. We fought as well as we could. We fought probably with far less resources and far more odds against us. But I don't accept the numbers at the moment.
Okay, you don't accept. Preeti has a question for you. Preeti, go ahead.
Again, with the caveat, if these numbers hold, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, then will there be a rethink in especially how the Congress campaigned? You went with the pitch of the caste census. You constantly hit on it. You were there saying the same things during the state elections. It didn't work then. You carried the same narrative forth in the general elections. Will there now be a rethink on how you've approached these elections?
Any defeat leads to a very serious introspective rethink. There is no doubt about that. And that if your figures translate into the real defeat, yes, it's obvious. There will be a huge churning process. I don't think
in choice of leadership for the Congress, sir.
Those are all things to be decided.
Because the buck has to stop somewhere.
It's a very defeatist, hypothetical approach which I don't want to get into. I'm only saying this, that you are all giving, where there is a saturation state, where there is an existing sweep, you are giving complete sweeps to Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh. It defies laws of probability and logic. It can happen, but I don't think it is happening. I don't think any good reason is given for that. Bihar, you are overstating Nitish Kumar, who should have gone down much more. You're giving him pretty good numbers. Telangana, yes, we believe that they will gain some seats, but not the way you have put us behind. So all this, I don't think adds up to all that very much. And to discuss, what we will do, how we will change our leadership, is a very defeatist approach, which I'm not going to get into with you at the moment.
Okay, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, we'll have you back with us on verdict day, and maybe then you can be a little bit more outspoken about where your party.
We'll all be more realistic that day. There's no doubt about
Okay,
it.
we'll all be more realistic, no problem. I want to rush through though as we approach 9 o'clock, and remember the big state of Maharashtra, big state of Uttar Pradesh, big state of Bengal still to come. Let's go through all these states very carefully. Picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Let's turn to Manipur, because Andaman and Nicobar Islands. First, this seat going to the BJP. As I said, BJP has gone into the smaller union territories very successfully in this election. Let's turn to Manipur. I keep repeating this because it's gone through much trauma. It's got floods now. It had terrible ethnic violence a year ago. Congress is winning one. Now that's interesting because most people thought that the BJP will win, and my friend Rajat will know better. The BJP would win the Meitei-dominated seat of Imphal, and the outer Manipur seat would probably go to the Naga party. The Kukis do not have that much of population to change the demographics of that seat. Are you surprised with what is happening in Manipur? 1-1.
I think so. I'm surprised here largely because I still don't see the organization. See, this election was a very unique and a special election in Manipur. There was violence. You couldn't go out and do campaigns. It was only household to household campaigns. And
which would be the seat if the Congress won?
It's the valley. It's the valley area.
It would win the valley, not the outer Manipur seat, surely.
No, outer Manipur Congress.
So the Naga party would win that. Which we are saying.
So NDA alliance was supposed to win the outer.
So if the Meitei vote has gone to the Congress,
because there was a JNU professor who stood very sharply for the Meitei rights, actually going in and contesting.
And he was given the Congress
and he didn't have the organizational base at all because he was living in Delhi.
So who knows?
Who knows exactly? But remember,
if this result
BJP had the sitting education minister come in and contest, Basantab, and he himself is
a very fine candidate.
Very fine, very educated, very well respected. And I believe
former police officer, if I'm not mistaken.
Former IPS officer as well. So it's an interesting thing.
Okay, so Manipur could throw up some interesting results if our Access My India exit poll holds. Guess what? Up next are the three biggest states of the country. We'll go first, one by one to them after a short break. Maharashtra, one of my home states. Bengal, one of my home states. And Uttar Pradesh, where we are at the moment. Back in a moment, you're watching our special coverage here on India Today. Total domination, as Rahul Kawal put it. The other Rahul hasn't been able to dominate. Our Rahul has done it. Back in a moment.
वेदर शील्ड पावर फ्लेक्स, इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से. इट्स कलरफुल, इट्स पावरफुल.
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
घर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता. रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार, एकदम सॉलिड.
What you doing? Yeah, you're getting me down. Got me looking at you, scared in the crowd. Why do you wanna move like that? Why you want ground? Coming for you. Let me show you why.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से. सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सॉल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ.
आपको 2 जून को फिर से जेल जाना है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है यू विल नॉट गेट इंटरिम, आपकी इंटरिम बेल हम एक्सटेंड नहीं कर रहे हैं. ये उन्होंने आज निर्णय लिया है. आपके मंत्री जेल में गए हैं, आपके पर्सनल असिस्टेंट जेल में गए हैं, आपके कई और नेताओं पर कार्रवाई हो रही है. और आम आदमी पार्टी को एक तरह से अक्यूज बनाया गया है कि आम आदमी पार्टी भी इस अलेज शराब घोटाले में उनको आरोपी बनाया गया है. तो कैसे आप कह सकते हैं कि आप पर दबाव नहीं है?
वही मैंने कहा, आम आदमी पार्टी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. आम आदमी पार्टी बनी थी देश के लिए. आज जो मनीष सिसोदिया चोर नहीं है, उसको 1.5 साल से जेल में क्यों डाला है मोदी जी ने? क्योंकि मनीष सिसोदिया अच्छे स्कूल बनाता है, मोदी जी नहीं बना सकते. सत्येंद्र जैन चोर नहीं है, उसको क्यों डाला है जेल में? सत्येंद्र जैन मोहल्ला क्लिनिक बनाता है, मोदी जी नहीं बना सकते. मैंने कोई भ्रष्टाचार नहीं किया. अगर केजरीवाल भ्रष्टाचारी है तो इस दुनिया में कोई ईमानदार है ही नहीं। हम लोगों को जेल में इसलिए डाला क्योंकि जो काम हम कर रहे हैं वो मोदी जी नहीं कर सकते। आज सबसे ज्यादा बुलंद आवाज मोदी जी की तानाशाही के खिलाफ आम आदमी पार्टी की है। भगत सिंह का चेला हूं मैं। भगत सिंह जेल गए थे देश को आजाद कराने के लिए। हम लोग जेल जा रहे हैं देश को बचाने के लिए। सारी जिंदगी भी अगर मुझे जेल में रखें देश के लिए, मुझे कोई गिला शिकवा नहीं है। देश के लिए मेरी शरीर का एक एक कतरा मेरा देश के लिए है।
वेदरशील्ड पावर फ्लेक्स, इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से। इट्स कलरफुल, इट्स पावरफुल।
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
घर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता। रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल। रुंगटा स्टील TMD बार, एकदम सॉलिड।
What you doing? Yeah, you're getting me down. Got me looking at you, scared in the crowd.
Why they wanna move like that? Why you want
Coming for you. Let me show you why.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से। सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ।
Let's now go to Kerala. Kerala is the one state where between the LDF and the UDF they hope to polish off all the seats, but the BJP is hoping to make an entry, and the few very keenly contested seats that the BJP thinks it's in with a chance. So let's see what's happening in Kerala. Rajdeep.
Okay, let's go to Kerala.
Presented by Macho Sporto, ये तो बड़ा टॉइंग है। Co-presented by
आपका जॉय, भारत का जॉय, जॉय ई-बाइक।
Co-presented by Green Lamb Laminates, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा। Driven by JK Tire, देश का टायर। Powered by MP Birla Cement Perfect Plus, Concrete Special. Co-powered by
Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat.
Co-powered by Panasonic AC for smart homes. Signature Finest Silver Elaichi, a premium product from Dilbar. Supreme Total Piping Solutions, जीवन भर का साथ। अच्छी नींद पेप्स की गारंटी। पेप्स, the dream makers.
Hello and welcome once again to the Axis My India poll done for India today on the general elections of 2024. We've reached that critical stage where we are going to all the big states, the states that can make or break this general election. But as we go into the states, as you can see, mere dono haath mein laddu hai. NDA on one side, India on the other. 306 seats counted out of 543. What are the numbers showing? Let me turn them around, and there you have it. 300. You've got 100 seats who are playing on one side, which is the number of the India Alliance, and 197, which is the number of the NDA Alliance. So it's almost twice as much. So Rahul, with 3 big states to go, the NDA could well be poised for a triple century and more as things stand. Rahul.
At this moment, can the NDA be 400 par? The BJP itself had given up on that 370 idea. Are they heading in that direction? Stay with us for the next couple of hours and you are about to find out, because we're diving in now to Maharashtra. Maharashtra is one of the most epic battleground states in this election, and it is in Maharashtra that the story of the general elections is being written. The projected vote share for Maharashtra up on your screen right now. The Bharatiya Janata Party at 29%, the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction at 13%, the Ajit Pawar faction at 4%, the Congress at 14%, the NCP Sharad Pawar faction at 9%. But the big story there is the Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray faction, which seems to have done very well as far as vote share is concerned. When this gets converted into seats, India Today and Access My India are predicting that amongst the most fascinating elections in this election have happened in Maharashtra. The BJP projected to bag between 20 and 22 seats. The Eknath Shinde faction, which contested 15 seats, expected to bag between 8 and 10. The NCP Ajit Pawar faction, which contested 5, could bag between 1 and 2. The Congress between 3 and 4. The Sharad Pawar faction between 3 and 5. The Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray faction between 9 and 11 could potentially be the number 2 party in the state when it comes to tallies. Rajdeep, this is your home state. Uddhav Thackeray emerging as one of the big winners there. Eknath Shinde's faction not doing quite as well as the BJP itself. What do you make of these numbers?
Actually, Rahul, I must disagree with you there, because the real story, if these numbers hold, is actually Eknath Shinde. He's contesting 14 seats. 14. He's leading in 8 to 10. And you've got Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena Rahul, which is contesting 23 seats, and they are leading in 9 to 11. So for the allies, what was the general belief in Maharashtra? BJP will hold its own, but these allies will bring it down. Yes, Ajit Pawar's faction, and it'll be interesting to see which are those 1 to 2. Is it the seat between Supriya Sule and Sunetra Pawar, which is the one which is key, the Baramati seat? So we don't know which is the seat. We'll find that out from Pradeep. But instinctively what this means is, those numbers, Rahul, out of 48 seats, 28 to 32 to the NDA, which means they are down by about 10. But the BJP itself is hardly taking a hit. They got 23 last time. They're getting 20 to 22 this time. The India Alliance doing better than last time, but clearly not as well as they had hoped. I mean, this is the other big disappointment for them after Karnataka. Karnataka, they expected...
No, it's not comparable, Rajdeep. Karnataka, the BJP swept. Here they made a real fight in Maharashtra.
No, but you would expect to be ahead of your rivals, right? You had gone into this election in the hope that you would be ahead of your rivals. That's not happening. Yes, the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena is clearly showing it's in the fight. Sharad Pawar is showing he is the real NCP in the sense he is ahead of the Ajit Pawar faction, and most of their contests were in Western Maharashtra. The Congress again comes over Kadi. 17 seats that they have contested, they are only leading in 3. So you see, you're having a situation, if I'm the BJP and we are in T20 season, I want the Congress as a matchup. And that, in a way reflects right across the country, but a disappointment, I think, for the Mahavikas Aghadi. If these numbers hold, it may change in a Vidhan Sabha 4 months from now, Rahul, whether Modi factor
I don't know,
may not
you're
be
sounding very... The fact is that this is a good fight. By the relative standards of the fight that the India Alliance has put up, they've put up one of their best fights in Maharashtra.
Sure, but it's not winning you. And you see, what was your aim? Your aim was to stop the BJP from crossing 272. That's not going to happen anywhere anymore. The BJP is romping towards 272 and more.
Shankar wants to make a point.
Seminal points that are emerging out of this. Everybody had written off Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar. The comment in Mumbai was, ye dono shaheed ho jayenge. That's not happening. The second thing that you notice in the number is the Congress has once again capitulated completely. I live in Pune, and in Pune, the joke that is being discussed is that the Congress party president, the Congress candidate, is fighting both the Congress party president and the BJP candidate. The Congress is completely almost not visible in Maharashtra. So that part of the story is there. But still the consensus view, Rahul, I must say, is exactly the reverse of what we are showing.
Consensus amongst whom?
Among most people, most
sitting in their drawing rooms doing their own psephology.
In India, everybody has has their own team. It's a My 11 or Dream 11, whatever team everybody's creating.
Okay. So Amit Malviya now joins us. Amit Malviya heads up the IT cell of the Bharatiya Janata Party, has played a very important role in the BJP's campaign in West Bengal. In just a while from now, we'll come to West Bengal. But till then, Mr. Malviya, from these numbers, it seems that Prime Minister Modi extremely confident, declaring that the NDA has won and the India alliance has lost, he says.
Rahul, for anybody who went on the campaign trail and visited various parts of the country and states such as Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Telangana and Odisha, the so-called big catchment states for the BJP in this election, they all came back with the impression that the BJP is probably the only party that is in the contest. The Congress, for all its bluster, was completely missing. Some bit of resistance was put up by the regional parties. And I'm not quite surprised that the trends that are now emerging, including your own exit poll, seems to suggest that the BJP will be home on its own, will have a massive majority. And let me point out, this is probably the first time in contemporary Indian history, and perhaps even after independence, that a Prime Minister will return to office for a third term with a higher vote share and higher number of seats. And that itself makes this mandate very, very special. And I don't know what your final numbers look like, but I can tell you that we will be very close to our projected number of 370, and the NDA will add on to that, and we will be on course to a 400 number.
It won't, I want to tell our viewers, it won't just be historic in an Indian context. Even when you look internationally, the likes of Margaret Thatcher or Tony Blair, transformative leaders of their countries, in their third election, they did win, but with reduced majorities. The question is, can Prime Minister Modi win with an even bigger majority? I want to show you this cool hawa, hot hawa business that's playing on our screen right now, which basically tells you what's happening in the hot seats. Where is the cool hawa and the hot hawa going? So the cool hawa, and I want to take up Baramati first, because Baramati is Pawar versus Pawar. It's one of the most pitched battles of the Lok Sabha election. Let's show you what's happening in that very hot seat of Baramati. India Today Access My India project, and I know that Supriya Sule might be watching at this time, that she has the edge. So Netra Pawar, Ajit Pawar's wife, in fact seems in our poll to be trailing with she'll be very, very relieved to see this. This was really the ego battle, the prestige battle. The BJP top guns insisting that Ajit Pawar contest through his wife. And it seems that Sharad Pawar could have the last laugh. That's what our poll suggests at this moment. Let's now look at what's happening in the seat of Sangli. Now this again, the hot seat, the cool hawa in Sangli, Vishal Patil, as an independent, seems to be one up on the BJP candidate over there. But Baramati, Rajdeep, you travel to Baramati, our polls seem, if you ask anyone in the BJP top leadership, they think they're winning Baramati. India Today Access My India says at this moment, you got Supriya Sule with the edge.
It's a tough seat. You know, there was a high voter turnout in Khadakwasla, which is one of the assembly segments of Baramati. It's semi-urban, just on the, mainly urban, just on the borders of Pune. And we will have to see whether the BJP has, or the NCP, Ajit Pawar faction has pulled enough votes there in Khadakwasla to make up what it might lose out in rural Baramati. My sense is this will go down to the wire. It's a very tight contest. The BJP very clearly put up Ajit Pawar's wife so that, in a way, the competition was intense. They realized no one else perhaps could really take on Sharad Pawar's clout in that constituency. So they put up someone from the family. And if they are winning one or two, one of them could well end up the Ajit Pawar faction in Baramati. But Sangli is again interesting. This was a constituency where the Congress candidate is the grandson of Vasantdada Patil, the former chief minister of the late Vasantdada Patil. The Congress didn't give him the ticket. So he went and contested independent. The seat was taken by the Shiv Sena, which insisted that we want the Sangli seat. Guess what? The independent could be winning. I think there will be lessons if these numbers hold of the nature of your election management. And questions will be raised about the choice of candidates and the way you fought.
Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray faction now joins us. Priyanka ji, welcome. Your sense of the numbers so far, Rajdeep and I having a bit of a disagreement. I was making the point that Uddhav Thackeray and the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena seem to have done well. Rajdeep says, but look at how the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction have done. They haven't proven to be the Kamzor Khadi. How are you reading this data, Priyanka?
So whatever I'm seeing from the exit polls, while I respect my exit polls a lot, however, the numbers are going to show differently on the results day. We're very confident that Mr. Shinde, the 13% that you're showing to his faction, is going to be a much reduced single-digit vote share. But I'm not going to be jumping the gun here. While I respect the numbers that are showing here, we are pretty confident that we are going to do well as the Mahavikas Aghadi Alliance.
But if these numbers hold, Priyanka Chaturvedi, then where could things have gone wrong? I mentioned Sangli just now as a seat the Shiv Sena insisted on fighting. As per our polls, the independent who the Congress had hoped to give a ticket appears to be leading. Was there that perfect coordination, you think, on the ground? Do you believe that maybe, or is it the Modi factor that could have given the BJP the edge, especially in Lok Sabha?
I do not know how much of the Modi factor is really working, to be very honest. But if you look at the percentage, if I'm just going by the numbers that you all are showing, others are showing a voting percentage of almost, vote share of almost 11%. That in itself tells you a story that those are the ones which will, in case these numbers hold, which will play a small sport for the Congress party and for various other alliances that we are seeing here.
I can actually quantify the Modi factor in Maharashtra. For all the people who voted the way they did, 9% of the total respondents and 19% of the NDA voters said they voted the way they did because of Prime Minister Modi, which means in an assembly context, Priyanka Chaturvedi's party and that alliance has a fighting chance. But the problem is your former party, the Congress, is once again proven to be the weak link. How do you see that? Uddhav Thackeray punching as per his weight or above his weight, depending on how you see it, but the Congress punching in a very suboptimal fashion, Priyanka.
No, what is this about calling this my former party? I'm with the Shiv Sena and I would prefer it that we do not talk like this, that, oh, look what your former party is doing. It is part of an alliance. We are part of the same alliance. And I come from Shiv Sena. I speak on behalf of Shiv Sena or the Balasaheb Thackeray faction, right? So having said that, all I mentioned, again, like I said, while I respect the numbers that are showing here, there will be a very different picture that you would see on the 4th of June. And I'm very confident that Mahavikas Aghadi has done well, and going by our ground reports and what we have collected on ground and we have seen on ground, there has been a massive show of support, not just in terms of emotional support, but in terms of voting as well, as far as we are concerned. So again, like I said, numbers will tell the truth only by 4th, but we are pretty confident about how this is going to turn out in Maharashtra. Just one thing I'd like to say here. Shiv Sena and Bharatiya Janata Party, when they were in alliance, Bharatiya Janata Party had won 23 seats. Right now it's showing 22 seats, 20 to 22 seats. That in itself tells you another story.
But Priyanka, the entire narrative when you campaigned and your party campaigned was that this election will settle which is the real Shiv Sena. If Eknath Shinde holds on to the numbers that he's seeming to be holding on, then that's a problem.
I don't see that as a problem. I only see it as a problem created by the Bharatiya Janata Party, which on the 4th of June, you would see the answer to. And assembly elections are not too far. You would get that reply on that as well. As far as Maharashtra is concerned, the independents have played a factor if these numbers hold, and that is something that we will work on. You know, assembly elections are something that
So very quick points. We need to go to West Bengal. Yes.
One last point. Serious point. Once again, the Congress versus BJP story is playing out here. In the 23 odd seats that the BJP, 28 seats that the BJP was fighting, it was contesting against the Congress in 15 seats. And the Congress's tally and the BJP's tally tells you that once again, the BJP versus Congress battle is being won by the BJP.
And it's happened in 2 consecutive elections, Rahul. So it's not a one-off. 2014, 145 seats direct contest, only 13 were won by Congress. In 2019, 178 direct contests, 166 won by BJP.
To make a brief
so it's, it really tells you the story of what has happened in the last 10
West
years.
Bengal's coming up next.
A lot of criticism was levied on the BJP as to why did they break Shiv Sena and why did they break NCP? Imagine a scenario had these two parties been together, the Aghadi being a completely cemented alliance, they would have almost wiped out BJP from Western Maharashtra and even from Marathwada belt. And I think this is where BJP's deft handling of the issue right in time, 1 year in advance, they understood that the situation isn't very good and they can't fully rely on Shinde alone. They ensured that NCP is also broken, and they kept working hard in terms of ensuring that some level of semblance of vote transfer happens. I believe NCP vote transfer did not happen to BJP as it was expected. Their base is totally different. It was an unnatural alliance. Also, in seats like Baramati and all, Sharad Pawar, remember at 83 years, he went to every individual whom he has been fighting for 50, 60 years. He went to their households, caught their feet literally, asking for vote, begging for vote. He went to Sangram Thopte's house. He went to Vijay Mohite Patil's place, ensured that all regional satraps are all brought into Aghadi fold. So he did a lot of hard work on the ground.
I want to say though, this is one state route, just as a caveat, where there are exit polls, especially by the local regional channels, which are giving the edge to the Mahavikas Aghadi. So it's in the sense that, generally across all states, exit polls are unidirectional. Across states we are finding. This is the only state where many of the exit polls are actually either predicting a dead heat or a slight edge to the Mahavikas.
Okay, we want to thank Priyanka Chaturvedi for joining us as we pivot now to West Bengal. The only thing to keep in mind, no matter what your political affiliation, that 19% of NDA voters said they voted the way they did in Maharashtra because of Prime Minister Modi. You take 9% of that overall vote away from the NDA tally, the assembly election in Maharashtra is going to look very, very exciting. Rajdeep and I both looking forward, along with Preeti, to going down to Maharashtra because that just makes Maharashtra supremely exciting, and the elections are just a few weeks away. Let's now come to West Bengal. This is what Amit Malviya and the others in the BJP were most excited about. Is the BJP going to be ahead? Even those in the Trinamool were saying, well, they have put up a good fight, but we hope to be ahead in terms of votes and seats. India Today and Access My India are predicting that the BJP will have a 6% vote share lead. The Trinamool was at 43%, that could potentially come down to 40. The BJP was at 40, that could go up 6% to 46. The left and the Congress at 12% vote share, others at 2%. If in a largely bipolar fight, the BJP manages to have a 6% lead in terms of vote share, that translates into a massive 26-31. Amongst the biggest gains for the Bharatiya Janata Party, potentially coming from the battleground state of West Bengal, where Messrs. Modi, Shah and Shubhendu Adhikari seem to have got one past Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool, who could come down to 11 and 14. They did fight hard, especially post Sandesh Khali, tried to recover ground, but maybe it was too late. 26-31 for the Bharatiya Janata Party, 11-14. People, Amit Malviya, were wondering if the BJP will slightly be ahead. It seems the BJP is substantially ahead in West Bengal over the Trinamool, which could be down to just 11-14 seats. They had 22 the last time.
Well, Rahul, we are obviously quite excited at the prospect of West Bengal. And I can tell you that these numbers reflect the aspiration of the people of Bengal. If I take you back to 2021, when Mamata Banerjee won a third mandate, after that, there is nothing that has gone right for the state, from a recovery of excess of about 51 crore cash in her education minister's home, the SSC recruitment scam, the Russian scam, Sandesh Khali most recently, which is a blot on West Bengal and an abiding legacy of Mamata Banerjee for times to come. The recent court judgment striking out minority reservation in the OBC, all of this has completely snowballed. Today, when India, approximately 960 million voters have participated in this election process, the only state where a person has been shot dead is West Bengal. Just today evening, when the election was closing, a BJP booth karyakarta has been shot dead point blank in Sandesh Khali. The kind of violence that marred the election, particularly the last phase, is for everybody to see. And Mamata Banerjee presides over this lawlessness. Women's security is a big issue. Corruption is a massive issue. Lack of governance. A state as large as West Bengal hasn't seen reform for decades. It is struggling, it is gasping There are no opportunities. There are no jobs for people there. Almost 1.5 lakh people in every Lok Sabha constituency work out of the state because there are no jobs in West Bengal. The healthcare infrastructure is crumbling. Every government scheme is riddled with corruption.
You know, as Amit Malviya is saying, he sees that these results are a massive mandate against Mamata Banerjee. Your view, you traveled through West Bengal, you said there was anti-incumbency on the ground. Are you surprised by the scale of it? Because if these numbers hold, it gives the BJP a huge fillip, particularly ahead of the 2026 assembly polls.
You know, Rajdeep, West Bengal was one state where I did think the anti-incumbency lay with Mamata Banerjee. Was I expecting these numbers? I was expecting the BJP to be the single largest party. I did feel that the TMC is going to fall behind. But, you know, to the tune of the numbers that we are projecting, no. I would have thought the BJP would have gone to about 2022. But, you know, what I want to get in is, what's really seemed to have happened is that at least the vote seems to have been polarized. There are 13 seats in West Bengal which are dominated by the minority. Now, if we look at it, we're giving the TMC maximum 14. So, what Mamata Banerjee has literally done is only hold on possibly to those 13 seats and maybe added one more. So this election has been completely polarized and it's in favor of the BJP clearly.
Mr. Malviya, you're giving us such serious responses. If the BJP is predicted to get between 26 and 31 and given that you play a role in the organizational scheme of things, I thought you'd be telling us that you are sending us some mishti doi or some lovely sweets. You're giving us some very, very serious responses. How would you be celebrating this victory if you're almost double of the Trinamool stallion between 26 to 31? It's a huge achievement for you yourself, for Shubhendu Adhikari and for the BJP in West Bengal.
Well, I'll keep the celebrations for the 4th of June, Rahul, because that's when the actual results come out. But yes, for now, these numbers are very encouraging. And it tells me that there is something definitely that has moved in West Bengal, and it's for the good of the state. You know, it's a border state. It is very, very precariously placed as far as international borders of multiple countries, not just one, is concerned. And the kind of lawlessness and lack of growth that the state has seen for several decades is something that it does not deserve. Bengal needs to resurrect its legacy and make sure that Mr. Modi's ambition of leading India's development from the east actually is fulfilled through the states of West Bengal and Odisha. And I'm sure when you look at the Odisha numbers, they will look as encouraging as West Bengal is.
Pradeep Gupta joins us. Pradeep bhai, explain to Amit Malviya and everybody else, 26 to 31, they were hoping कि थोड़ा सा आगे निकल जाए तृणमूल से. आपने तो छप्पड़ फाड़ के आगे निकाल दिया.
नहीं, मैंने क्या आगे निकाल दिया, वो तो जनता है, वोट करती है जो सही समझती है. बड़ी बात यह है कि विधानसभा चुनाव 21 के टीएमसी को एक तरफा सबने, माइनॉरिटी ने खासकर एक मुश्त वोट दिया था. यानी एक मुश्त का मतलब मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, ऐसा कभी होता नहीं है, लेकिन उस समय हुआ था कि 85 to 90% माइनॉरिटी का वोट टीएमसी के फेवर में गया था. और बड़ी उससे भी बात ये थी कि कभी ऐसा हो सकता है कि 294 असेंबली में लेफ्ट और कांग्रेस साथ में चुनाव लड़ने के बाद कंबाइंड एक सीट भी नहीं जीत पाए थे.
No, but you see, now you are showing left and Congress at 12%. Are you telling me, therefore, that had the Congress tied up with the TMC, there could have been this consolidation of the minority vote, and they would have had the huge advantage that the Congress has taken, or the Congress left has taken in those closely fought seats, a part of the TMC's vote, and actually caused damage to Mamata Banerjee?
Yes, you are right, absolutely. Because had there been alliance between Congress and TMC, things would have been.
No, but where was Mamata willing for an alliance? She wasn't willing for an alliance. The Congress wanted an alliance.
And is there one more point? The seats that have gone to the polls today, which are the 9 or 10 of them that have gone, were all won by Mamata Banerjee last time.
Yes.
The one worry that exit pollsters sometimes have is when you poll on the same day for the same seats. Is that a concern? Or do you believe, therefore, the domination, because these are seats where the Congress and the left did not have much at stake, unlike the seats of the minority population seats. Do you get a sense, Boshirat is an exception, but do you broadly get the sense that this is an anti-Mamata vote? Congress has taken a part of it, but the largest chunk has gone to the BJP as the principal adversary.
So I would say 2-3 things together. One is the pro-BJP and pro-Modi vote for sure this time. Second, it is not anti-TMC because this is a national election, and the other side, the national parties, both left and Congress, alliance contesting together. And this time, Congress and left has some better momentum than 2019 because of obvious reason all across the country. And they have put forward a good fight, particularly among the minority votes. So minority votes were confused. In fact, among the minority women voting again 70 to 80% in favor of TMC, but the main vote is voting about 50 to 60% in favor of TMC.
I want to ask you one quick question, Pradeep ji, I want to ask you. So what the TMC was hoping is that the left would actually absorb the anti-incumbency. So it has worked against, it's taken the minority vote, number one. Number two, Pradeep ji, what I'm asking you is, what happened now to that massive women vote bank, the direct cash transfer, Lokhir Bhandar, what happened to all of that?
That's what I'm saying. TMC is still getting a good sizable lead among minority women vote than the male vote. Women 80 to 90% minority in favor of
But the
TMC.
Hindu vote is going away.
Hindu vote
is going away.
Hindu vote again. The tribals and particularly female voting good except the northern Bengal, which is Jalpaiguri, Kuch Bihar. Tribals are still voting more in favor of TMC than BJP in this pocket, the Mednipur and this side, what you call Jhargram side. But Hindu votes, now coming to Hindu is SC, OBC and general caste. They are voting more than 2/3 in favor of BJP.
Well,
and
the political situation in West Bengal has altered dramatically after this exit poll study, which seems to suggest that the BJP could end up between 26 and 31 seats. And if this comes out to be the case on the 4th of June, the BJP will think they're in with a chance and that Mamata Banerjee's days are numbered. They will go for the jugular, and they've already been, even while in lesser numbers, a formidable opposition that could make things very difficult for the Trinamool and for Mamata Banerjee in the build-up to the next assembly elections. I want to introduce Sukanto Majumdar, one of the heroes of this victory. If it were to happen on the 4th of June, he's the state BJP president. Sukanto da, welcome. 26 to 31, is this more than what you were expecting, or will you now turn around and say, "Mujhe to pehle hi pata tha, itne hi aane"? What are you making of 26 to 31 being the India Today Access My India projection for BJP in West Bengal?
Rahulji, first of all, I would like to clear that I am not a non-believer actually on this issue, that is exit poll and all these things. So first of all, but I can assure you that this time BJP tally, the number of seats will be much more than the TMC. We will be the single largest party in the state of West Bengal, and we will defeat TMC considerably in numbers in case of Lok Sabha seats.
I want to show you what happened in Bashirhat. That's one of the hot seats. Let's see where the cool hawa in Bashirhat is flying, because this is where one of the survivors of the Sandesh Khali incident, rape charges, was put up. Rekha Patra was put up. It seems in our poll that Haji Narul Islam from the Trinamool is in the lead. It did create, Pradeep, a massive talking point which helped the BJP, but Bashirhat was always a very tough seat. This is where Nusrat Jahan contested earlier.
Absolutely.
Now the new Trinamool candidate seems to be doing well as well.
Yes, but Sandesh Khali is just one of the incident. But the whole state, and it is a national election, एक वजह नहीं होती कभी भी किसी जीत और हार की. और जो राजदीप ने बोला कि 9 सीटों पे ऊपर जिस पे आज चुनाव हुआ है, उसमें जॉयनगर और डायमंड हार्बर, वो तो बीजेपी जीत ही नहीं सकती कभी. तो रह गई बात 7 सीटों की. अब 7 में से जो वो रेंज देख रहे हैं आप 26 से 31, दैट इज वाई द रेंज इज गिवन कि कभी गड़बड़ भी हो सकता है, बट वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 5 से 7 सीट टोटल स्टेट के अंदर गड़बड़ हो सकता है. उससे ज़्यादा का मुझे नहीं लगता कि इसमें कोई गड़बड़ की संभावना है.
But what we are seeing fascinatingly, Rahul, in this, look at the geographical shift taking place in India. there was a feeling that the BJP had maxed out North, West, Central India. What is happening as per this exit poll? You may be making some small losses in a Bihar, in a Jharkhand, in a Haryana, but you're making up more than your losses in a West Bengal, in getting a few in Tamil Nadu, getting a few in Kerala. So the peninsula part of India, Rahul Verma, is suddenly looking like lotus. You see, there's a general feeling the BJP has won on a northwest monsoon in 2014 and 19. Now you're seeing potentially a southeast monsoon also slowly emerging if these numbers hold.
If it's 26 to 31 in West Bengal, it's a tsunami in the Bay of Bengal.
It's a tsunami, and I find it very difficult for a Mamata Banerjee to actually have enough time in the next 24 months to take, unless the Congress and the TMC get the message of this election and probably come together in time for 2026. This may inevitably force them to come together in some form. But go ahead.
Anything may happen in 2026. I don't know. What I had said you at 5:30 that the thing to look is what is going to happen around Bay of Bengal coast. And that's where the politics is going to change in future. See, for BJP, they had done well in Northwest earlier in 2014. In 2019, they breached the eastern walls, went into Northeast. And so the states that were left were around the Bay of Bengal and the southern tip, basically Kerala and Karnataka. And what we are seeing is BJP making inroads in all those states, keeping the mark, like, for last 2 months, I was having this conversation with you, that this election is not state by state. It's a Lok Sabha election. It will have a national rhythm. Like in core areas, the losses are going to be minimal, and there are going to be gains in non-core areas.
I agree with you, Rahul. Where are we going next?
Let's head to Telangana. Remember, in Karnataka, the Congress had a state government. They thought they'd get double digits. Our poll seems to suggest nothing of the sort is happening. In Telangana, Revant Reddy told us, I'll be one up on the BJP. Make no mistake about that. They will not be able to gain. Let's take you through what the India Today Access My India poll is saying for Telangana. The poll suggests that the Congress's vote share would be at 39%, the BJP at 43%, emerging as the single largest party in terms of vote. The BRS's vote share is crashing to 13% in a national election, in any case getting edged out. So an existential crisis for KCR and his party, the BRS. Ever since they changed their name, things seem to be going wrong for KCR and KTR in Telangana. Let's see how this converts into seats. Can the Congress be one up? Well, our poll suggests they'd struggle to be about half of the BJP in Telangana. Out of the 17 seats, the BJP expected to bag between 11 and 12, the Congress between 4 and 6, the AIMIM using 0 to 1. Are you saying Asuddin Owaisi could lose as well? Because Owaisi sahab could well be watching. He'll be, ke Gupta ji kya bol rahe hain?
नहीं, फाइट अच्छी है और यू नो दैट हैदराबाद में सर्वे भी थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होता है और फाइट भी इस बार ज़बरदस्त है क्योंकि इस बार कांग्रेस भी है, बीआरएस भी है, बीजेपी भी है और ओवैसी की पार्टी तो है ही. तो बोलने का मतलब ये हुआ कि जो वोट का जो मार्जिन है वो बहुत कम होगा एंड दैट इज द प्रिसाइसली रीजन. आई एम नॉट सेइंग
दिस इज हिस्ट्री. You know, if the BJP is able to get between 11 and 12, a gain of 7 seats, the next assembly election will be BJP versus an incumbent Congress, and that changes things for the BJP in Telangana.
So this is what the outcome should have been even for the assembly. Had BJP not messed up the state of affairs in Telangana, they had a small window, but then Congress, just ran with it in the last 2-3 months. But this shows the unraveling of Revant Reddy's entire plan.
Yes, Sudhir comes from Hyderabad, understands Telangana politics better than anyone else. 11 to 12, is this what you were expecting or is this a surprise for you?
You spoke about a tsunami in Bengal. I would say in landlocked Telangana, this is a tsunami. If BJP is going to go to 43%, coming at the expense of the BRS got about 38% in the assembly election. From 38 to fall to 13%, and much of that vote is going to the BJP's kitty. So that's going to hugely impact the BJP's fortunes if these numbers hold.
And what we've seen, Rahul, in the past, when regional parties collapse, the BJP takes a large benefit out of the collapse of a regional party, which for a long time occupied that space of being the party of that state. We saw it with the AGP. We are seeing it now here playing out with the BRS. The moment the BRS has collapsed, the BJP disproportionately has benefited from it. I mean, these numbers are staggering, considering that you've just won an election 4 months ago. I think the Modi factor again, We'll
Look
have
at
to
that. The
quantify
BRS
this.
vote share down 28%, the BJP's vote share up 24%. That is massive.
So basically 6 out of 7, in a strange way you could say 6 out of 7 voters who deserted the BRS have turned to the BJP. My point though is, if the Congress can't arrest its decline in a state like Telangana, which you've just won 5 months ago, then there is a huge problem. And
Revanth Reddy called this election as a referendum on his 100 days in
that's right. So, you've got Mamata Banerjee on notice. You've got a Revanth Reddy now, who said you've got a Siddaramaiah on notice. So, a lot of chief ministers, you've got the Himachal government, which could collapse next month. Pinarayi, his government won't collapse, but he will have it very difficult in 2026.
So, Konda Vishweshwar Reddy joins us, one of the richest, second, I mean, if you're a data guy, the second richest candidate in the fray in this Lok Sabha candidate. He's from Chevalla, very close to Hyderabad, contesting this time on a BJP ticket. Mr. Reddy, it seems the BJP is scripting history, 11 to 12 seats out of 17. And you might be anxious. Pradeep, can you tell us, Chevalla, is he ahead or not? He'd be very concerned about that. He's winning. So our poll seems to suggest that you're in a good position. As I'm sure you'd know in your constituency, what are you making of the numbers from Telangana? Konda Reddy, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so our poll seems to be suggesting A, you're ahead on your seat, B, the BJP could be between 11 and 12 across the state of Telangana, a 28% increase in vote share. It seems the Modi magic and the BJP magic running very strong in the state of Telangana, which the Congress won in the recent assembly election.
Yeah, but Rajdeep, it's not at all surprising. It may look shocking to anybody outside Telangana, but for us, it's not at all, something to be surprised or shocked. Because you have to understand the Telangana politics for last 4 or 5 years. The biggest chunk of the vote in Telangana is the anti-incumbency then. That is anti-KCR and family vote. And when they'd come to, rallied behind BJP, we won all by-elections. And Congress lost their deposits. And once we were tarnished with this false propaganda that we had a secret understanding with TRS or BRS, then all that anti-incumbency went to Congress. So whatever vote share you saw in the assembly elections where Congress won and formed the government, they are not all Congress votes. In fact, Congress vote share was less than 20%. All the other vote share, which was more than 20% or in many places, was actually anti-incumbency. So whichever side the anti-KCR votes went, they won. This time, definitely multiple factors other than Modi ji and the 5 kg free rice and the Ram Mandir. It is also the Kavita arrest that played a big role in our losses in the assembly, which I think now they are reversed. So we are not shocked because the anti-KCR vote share came to us from Congress, plus as Gupta ji and mentioned, the BRS vote share also, BRS rapid decline was again to us. So these two factors, we not only got the TRS votes or the BRS votes, we also got the chunk of the anti-incumbency, which in the past elections
your
went
point
to Congress,
is well taken, sir.
So we are not shocked at all.
Your point is well taken, and I think if these numbers hold, it is a huge breakthrough for you after Karnataka. This could be your next big state, which you've been aiming for a while, but you clearly now have a huge platform. Thanks very much for joining us. We are also joined by our second Congress guest. Pawan Kheda is joining us, the Congress's media in charge. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Kheda. The news is not good. And 24 hours ago, you weren't even going to come on our channels. It's good to have you on the show. You've changed your mind. Is this the depressing news that you didn't want to face 24 hours ago?
I won't call it news, Rajdeep. I'll call it news on the 4th. And this will change on the 4th, I can tell you that. I'm reminded of 2004. All the pollsters gave a decisive edge to Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's NDA. And even we took it very seriously, and most of us went into a depression. But when the actual results came, we were quite surprised. I think this is a rerun of the same story.
But the fact is that there's a common thread which is coming. Straight contest, BJP, Congress, BJP leading states like Telangana, even Karnataka. not just the north and western part of the country. If these numbers hold, and you're right, it's an if, will there be serious introspection this time? Will there be serious changes in the way the Congress approaches the entire task of elections?
Rajdeep, we know that these numbers are not right. We know that we are winning. We know that we are forming the government. Having said that, even then we should introspect. Everybody who wins should also, in fact, should introspect more than the person who loses. So obviously, changes must be made and introspection should be done by the winner. And we are the winners here.
Okay. We'll have you back, Pawan Bhai, on the 4th of June. Then, this poll, whether it's news or not, will
Definitely,
be known to everyone. We look forward to having you back. In any case, it's great to have you because boycott is never a good thing. So it's good that the Congress and the opposition decided to engage. Boycotts are best avoided. Let's now come to Andhra Pradesh. Remember, one of the stories has been along the coastal peninsula of India, the lotus seems to be blooming. What's happening in West Bengal, we've already seen. We'll now focus on Andhra and then also Odisha. Massive, massive, massive buzz in Andhra Pradesh. People waiting. They've seen all the other numbers, but they're waiting for the India Today Access My India numbers. Now, this is the projection. The YSRCP at 41% as the single largest party, but the TDP and the BJP are in alliance along with the Jan Sena. That's if you add them, then they're ahead. And the Congress at 4%, despite YS Sharmila coming in, not making much of an impact. Let me show you how this translates into seats. For the first time on your screen now, the one-way tsunami in Andhra Pradesh as well. The YSRCP down to between 2 and 4. The Telugu Desam between 13 and 15. The BJP between 4 and 6 and the Congress failing to open its account. That's the count for Andhra Pradesh, where it seems that Jagan Reddy in the Lok Sabha elections is taking a massive hit, and Chandrababu Naidu and the BJP have done really well. Why do you think, Pradeep Gupta, this is the case? 13 to 15 for the TDP, 4 to 6 also for the BJP, and Jagan Reddy getting reduced to a rump.
Okay, JSP is also in that, Jan Sena.
In the TDP figure for 13 to 15. So it's
I just
TDP
wanted
plus.
to make it clear. So 2-3 things happened in the past, particularly 1 year. I would say the biggest thing is the arrest of Chandrababu. Whatever brand equity or the goodies has gathered by YSR Jagan Mohan Reddy state government by the virtue of delivery of various social welfare schemes, that is all gone away just because of one mistake of arrest of Chandrababu Naidu. What had happened after that? Even Pawan Kalyan has gone and met Chandrababu Naidu, and Pawan Kalyan, last time also he contested election, but separately, no alliance. और उसके बाद बीजेपी का भी alliance हो गया, तो this become a very formidable alliance. And on the other hand, YSRCP always thinking and trying to keep a distance from BJP, in fact both the parties, TDP and in the initial stage. But after the arrest, the things are totally changed, and Chandrababu Naidu came on the knee. He gave away 6 seats to the BJP out of 25 seats to contest. This is also good news and the big news, and then the total...
We have assembly also numbers which are going to come up tomorrow. And many believe that is, as Sudhir pointed out, it's even fiercer. Are you surprised though by these numbers, Sudhir? Because, everyone that I've spoken to in Andhra has spoken about a very tough contest. Now, the numbers obviously in percentage terms can be close. But has the Pawan Kalyan, Chandrababu Naidu, BJP alliance in a sense, the Mahakutumi, as they call it, been too strong for Jagan fighting on his own?
Well, yes. I mean, the numbers are a bit surprising because the BJP contested 6 Lok Sabha seats.
Yes.
You are suggesting that they're scoring 80% or even 100%.
4 to 6. I mean, the total scenario is like this in the state.
So that's a bit surprising. I must also say that the exit poll figures which have come from Andhra today are kind of 50-50 on either side.
No, in fact, three states now, Pradeep Gupta, and the state poll, West Bengal, Maharashtra and Andhra. I just got the numbers for TV9, which is giving TMC the lead there. I've got a poll from Andhra Pradesh, which is giving again Jagan the lead. And we've got a poll from Maharashtra, which is putting Mahavikas Aghadi. So Pradeep is on test. I actually believe his overall numbers will be right, but often, as an old friend would tell me, often in a national poll, you can get a few states wrong, but you get a few states right just as much.
Two
Your
quick
numbers
points,
are right.
Rajdeep. Basically, it shows that 1 plus 1 plus 1 is greater than 1. And number 2, Jagan was giving the doles. Chandrababu Naidu was promising the doles plus roads plus jobs plus infrastructure.
Yes, Rahul, are you surprised? Then we come to Rajat.
Not really. The reason, because if you look at last time also, Chandrababu Naidu alone had 40% vote share and YSRCP had 49% vote share. Jansena had 6% vote share and BJP had around 2% vote share. So, like, if these three parties come together, they have a 49% vote share to basically give that.
So that perfect transfer of votes.
What he's saying about Chandrababu's arrest, and then there was some anti-incumbency which was visible in urban areas. So the kind of welfare schemes which YSRCP is targeting is more in rural areas. I think even what he's staying at 40% is largely from rural areas.
Because, you know, when I went there, I thought that the woman rural voter would probably give Jagan Mohan Reddy half a chance. But clearly your poll suggests that's not happening. Rajat, you're surprised with these numbers?
This is where, you know, this is a case study on how to do alliances. Having a perfect consolidation of the opposition alliance, not even allowing a single vote to go to waste, is how the India alliance should have learned. And say for example, in a state like West Bengal, egos came in and the ego spoiled the match for Trinamool Congress, at least if you go by the data. Over here, by the way, Jana Sena and the party at a point in time were aiming for 60 seats, 60 assembly seats, but they contained their ambitions. Even BJP contained its ambition in the assembly and gave and bargained more in the parliamentary seats. Net, they were able to put aside their ego against a larger enemy. And I'm telling you, YSR, CP and Jagan, he flipped so many candidates. A lot of those candidates went to the other faction. There was just too much of turbulence happening in Andhra, and he was not able to control the ship. He was a lone army, single-handedly trying to lead,
so we're told
but
that
not
CM
enough
Ramesh
to do enough.
will have an important role to play. If this is the scenario in Andhra Pradesh, he's joining us now.
And one of the architects of the alliance. He was the one who pushed the BJP
so used to be in the TDP, then joined the BJP, and is now joining us at this moment. Anakapalli, Lok Sabha candidate of the Bharatiya Janata Party, CM Ramesh, now joins us. It seems that the YSRCP collapsing to just between 2 and 4. The NDA between 21 to 23 in Andhra Pradesh. It seems Andhra Pradesh is seeing a massive political reversal, Mr. Ramesh.
Yes, Rahul. Since last 1 year, I'm saying same thing, because people are fed up in Andhra Pradesh with the Jagan Mohan Reddy government, and also people are happy if NDA alliance, this TDP, BJP is there, and it is a double engine sarkar, can be whatever spoiled Andhra Pradesh can be done good.
Okay. Does this, do you think, extend to the assembly as well, or do you think this is largely because of the Modi factor and because of various other factors, more just for the Lok Sabha elections?
In the assembly also. Same way in the assembly also.
Okay. I want to tell our viewers that we'll be putting out the results of the Andhra Pradesh Assembly post-poll study tomorrow. I know I'm inundated by questions, queries about the Andhra Pradesh post-poll study, but we'll just get to spend more time if we do this tomorrow. And therefore, do join us Sunday evening as we take you through Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and also counting from early in the morning in Arunachal and Sikkim. Okay, here is Odisha. On your screen right now, the numbers from Odisha. Are you ready for a shock? If you are, here it is. India Today and Access My India are predicting that in the coastal state of Odisha, the BJP's vote share could be a whopping 51%. The BJD could come down to 33%. And if that is the case, it translates into one-way waves in the Bay of Bengal, because then the BJP, which did well in the last Lok Sabha elections but fell well short of the BJD, the BJP emerges as far and away the #1 party in Odisha. So really, the big story here is what's happened in the peninsula, especially in the Bay of Bengal. From West Bengal, Odisha, come down even to Andhra Pradesh. 18 to 20 seats for the Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJD only between 0 and 2, the Congress between 0 and 1. Are you sure that this is how dramatic Pradeep Gupta this is likely to be? Because this would be hitting it out of the park or scoring goal after goal in the Kalinga Hockey Stadium.
No, that's right, Rahul. In fact, that 0-1 of Congress, which is the Koraput seat, which is, I can say कि ठीक है, Congress जीत सकती है. But otherwise, even Aska, the second seat is Aska, where the Naveen Patnaik is coming from. वो एक सीट है जो TDP के, BJD के फोल्ड में जा सकती है. बाकी सभी जगह पे जबरदस्त बदलाव की लहर, जबरदस्त बदलाव की लहर लोकसभा के लिए, अभी लोकसभा के लिए.
You know, that's the interesting point. We'll see how this plays out. But this is huge. Because here is someone who's never lost an election since he entered politics in the late 1990s, was on the verge of breaking a record. We are talking about Mr. Modi achieving what only Jawaharlal Nehru has done, a hat-trick of victories. Here was probably the first chief minister since Jyoti Basu.
No, Pawan Chamling. As far as
Pawan Chamling in terms of total number of years.
If Naveen Patnaik serves 78 more days as chief minister, he breaks Pawan Chamling's record of being the chief minister for the longest time in the saddle.
That's right. You see, you've got 25 years. We have to check with Jyoti Basu's years. But the truth of the matter is, if these results hold, it's tectonic. Because what it suggests is the BJP, which was seen as a party of primarily this northwest central India, has really captured this eastern peninsula belt. And that has huge implications, because then you're truly what the Congress was in its pomp. What was the one argument, Rahul, that used to be made against the BJP? South India mein nahi hai, Eastern India mein nahi hai, it's only maxing in north and west. Now today,
who made this argument, Rajdeep?
This was the traditional, every academic, it was an academic argument that the Congress was the party of the, that the BJP.
But what it shows is, you try till you succeed. They tried the last time, they didn't succeed. They've gone out all guns blazing and tried again and succeeded this time.
And I'll give you the Odisha story. There was a night, I remember early morning breaking news, Biju Janata Dal to tie up with BJP. The tie-up was done, sealed by Prime Minister Modi and Naveen Patnaik.
No, but Amit Shah and the others never wanted it.
Amit Shah, and more importantly, the state unit also said, we are not on board. We believe this is the right moment for us to strike out on our own and test ourselves and see if we can win the election. And if these numbers hold, they've been proven right. So you see, the BJP has shown, Rahul, it's a very flexible party. It's ready to tie up with the Chandrababu Naidu, who called the Prime Minister a terrorist. It's ready to tie up, to break an alliance which was almost cemented by none other than the Prime Minister himself, and then take on a Naveen Patnaik. It's ready to break a tie-up with an Ajit Pawar, whom you call Chakki Pissing. Anything, kuch bhi karenge, chunav jeetna hai.
It also shows how there's no ego in this.
With what you call the khatre ka ghanti for regional players.
Absolutely.
Where the BJD is concerned, where the TMC is concerned, where the YSRCP is concerned, for all of them. On a national scale, where do you stand? BRS. I want to know where BSP stands now.
Recently, the commentary was that the BJP struggles against regional parties and does well against Congress. Now, in this election, it has, from Pradeep's numbers, it has decimated TMC, it has decimated BJD, it has decimated YSRCP.
So it's the Rath that's
Ashwamedh Yagna.
That's destroying everything politically in its wake and being very tactically and strategically smart. The Puri hot seat coming up on your screen now. Sambit Patra there. He dug himself into the temple town for the last 5 years, and Dr. Patra would be delighted to know that there is a cool hawa blowing above his head in the temple town of Puri. He's likely to win. With this, we're slipping into a quick break. When we come back, we have Uttar Pradesh, the biggest battle of them all. We have the national tally. We also have the assembly results for Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Sikkim and Arunachal assembly results. Uttar Pradesh Lok Sabha tally, and then the national picture. I hope you're enjoying our coverage. All other competitor networks put together haven't been able to come to anywhere close to where India Today has been all through this evening. We're very thankful for your trust. We hope to have you back with us on the other side of a break when we come back with the big UP numbers. No Indian election is settled till you know what's happened in UP. Can they reach 400? That's the question to ask. Do the maths, do your analysis, be a pop psephologist, and I'll see you on the other side of a very quick break. Back in a moment.
वेदरशील्ड पावर फ्लेक्स। इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से। इट्स कलरफुल, इट्स पावरफुल।
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
अगर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता। रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल। रुंगटा स्टील TMD बार, एकदम सॉलिड।
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से। सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ।
Come now to the battleground state of Bihar, where questions have been asked about whether the JDU would prove to be the Kamzor Khadi in the NDA alliance. Will Tejaswi Yadav be able to lead the India alliance to a good performance in Bihar? Let's try and take you through what the India Today Access My India post-poll study shows. What you're seeing on your screen are the vote share numbers. The Congress predicted to back 10% of the vote share, the RJD 24%, the JDU 19%, and the BJP 21%. Let's see how this converts into votes. Coming up on your screen now, for the first time, the India Today Access My India prediction for Bihar. 9 to 11 seats for the Janata Dal United, 13 to 15 for the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Congress between 1 and 2, and the RJD between 6 and 7. So all those who thought that there would be a big backlash or that the JDU would prove to be the weak link, our polls suggest that's not the case. As I go across communities, whether you look at the Paswans, the Chamars, the tribals, the Yadavs, largely the NDA has the advantage. There's been a big consolidation of the Yadav votes, 82% of the Yadav votes in favor of the RJD alliance. That's up 24% from the last time. So big Yadav consolidation. Also a consolidation of the Muslim vote. 86% of the Muslims voting for the RJD alliance in Bihar. That's up 16% from the last time. But everywhere else, whether it's the Kurmis or the OBCs, the Banyas, Brahmins, Rajputs, quite naturally, Rajdeep, apart from the Muslims and the Yadavs, where there is extreme consolidation, late 80s, in the other communities, you've got the NDA doing very well, and JDU hasn't proven to be the Kamzor Khadi.
वेदरशील्ड पावर फ्लेक्स। इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से। इट्स कलरफुल, इट्स पावरफुल।
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
अगर रुंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता। रुंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल। रुंगटा स्टील TMD बार, एकदम सॉलिड।
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से। सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ।
इंडिया गठबंधन कम से कम 295 सीटें प्लस 295 से ज्यादा आएंगे, कम तो नहीं आएंगे। ये हमने आकलन किया कि सभी हमारे नेताओं से पूछने के बाद ये एक आंकड़ा हमारे पास मिला है और इस आंकड़े में कोई बदलाव नहीं है।
295 प्लस हम लोगों का आएगा और इंडिया जीत रहा है, देश की जनता जीत रही है।
295 प्रधानमंत्री का चेहरा कौन रहने वाला है?
ये तो बाद में हम लोग तय करेंगे, लेकिन हम लोग एकदम जो जनता का जो पोल है, जनता का जो सर्वे है।
प्रेजेंटेड बाय माचो स्पोर्टो, ये तो बड़ा टॉइंग है। को प्रेजेंटेड बाय आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय, जॉय ई बाइक। को प्रेजेंटेड बाय ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा। ड्रिवन बाय जेके टायर, देश का टायर। पावर्ड बाय एमपी बिरला सीमेंट परफेक्ट प्लस कंक्रीट स्पेशल। पावर्ड बाय एमपी बिरला सीमेंट परफेक्ट प्लस कंक्रीट स्पेशल। को पावर्ड बाय पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी वडोदरा गुजरात। सिल्वर इलायची, a premium product from Dilbar. Supreme Total Piping Solutions, जीवन भर का साथ। अच्छी नींद पेप्स की गारंटी। पेप्स, the dream makers.
Welcome back to our special coverage. As you can see, I am holding in one hand the India Alliance and the other the NDA. And the fact of the matter is, as we enter this final stretch with just Uttar Pradesh to show, with exactly 80 seats to go before we reach that magical 543 final number of seats, the fact is the BJP, as per our Axis My India poll, is heading for its biggest ever victory, both as a party and as an NDA alliance. What is that victory? Take a look. The India alliance is at 138, but guess where the NDA is? 312 with UP still to go. So that's 88 short of 400. 80 seats, 88 seats short of 400 is the BJP. And the NDA closing in on 400 par. What is the final tally of the NDA and the India alliance? Rahul, at the end of it, as I hold these two, I get a sense the BJP is closing in on 400 par.
If you're watching our live coverage tonight, ladies and gentlemen, there is only one question to ponder at this moment. Will the BJP and the NDA be able to reach that 400 par or not? For a while, it seemed like figment of imagination or stretching incredulity, but the fact is they're already at 329 and that battleground state of Uttar Pradesh is still to come. I want to spend a moment looking at a domination of a kind which even the BJP hasn't been able to register. That is the live concurrence at this moment coming up on your screen right now. This is now pretty late into the evening in many parts of India, especially as you move away from the big metros. But the live concurrent data suggests that if you add up all our competitors, you add up Network 18, Republic, Times Now, NDTV, Vion, First Post, Crux, ANI, News, NDTV, Vion, First Post, Crux, ANI, NewsX, Mirror Now, even at this moment, and 2x of competition. I know the BJP's had a great evening out. India Today is having an even better night in terms of total domination and decimation of competition. That being said, let's now come to Sikkim. Sikkim is where I'm going to show you now the assembly post-poll prediction. Okay, so let's take you through the post-poll prediction for Sikkim. The Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, the SKM, and the Sikkim Democratic Front, the STF. You've got the data coming up on your screen right now because this is where counting happens early in the morning. So India Today and Access My India are predicting that the SKM, the Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, is likely to get 61% of the votes. That's up 14% from the last time. The BJP getting 6%, up 4%, doesn't mean very much. Let's look at how this converts into seats. If you look at the new Assembly of Sikkim, India Today and Access My India are predicting that the Krantikari Morcha could be between 24 and 30. That is total domination in an assembly which is only 32 seats. So 24 to 30, one-way traffic. Rajat, you worked in these areas very closely.
So this is game over for Pawan Chamling. I think he should call it off now. He'll be too old to contest again. So one of the longest serving chief ministers is heading straight to retirement. SKM as a party was brought up by the BJP and it has been running a successful alliance government. So it's an NDA government. So you will see Sikkim still sticking with the NDA with Prem Singh, who is the leader, will continue as the chief minister of Sikkim. So no change there in Sikkim.
Okay, that's interesting that, Sikkim, which has seen Pawan Chamling dominating for so many years, is seeing a generational change that's taking place in Sikkim. From Sikkim, let's turn to the other assembly that you have for us, Arunachal Pradesh.
Let's see how Pema Khandu does. Again, this is a state where the BJP has grown in a very inorganic fashion, poaching its competition and seeming to do very well in the last assembly elections. How are they doing this time around? Remember, this is assembly data. We're putting it out because counting will start early in the morning. Our poll suggests that the BJP could be at 52% vote share, up 1% from the last time. The Congress crashing further to irrelevance in Arunachal Pradesh at 8%, down 9% from the last time. The NPP at 17%. Let's take a look at how this converts into seat. India Today and Access My India are predicting that the BJP is likely to romp home in style in the 60 seats of Arunachal Pradesh. We're giving them between 44 and 51. This is important for Deputy Chief Minister Chama Main and Pema Khandu because they're in power and they're returning to power on the basis of the performance that they've registered. That's why Nadda ji is smiling and Mallikarjun Kharge in the cutouts on the side looking a bit grumpy.
And this is part of what we've seen with the BJP strategy for the Northeast in the last decade. Arunachal was a state where they had no real footprint till a decade ago. Pema Khandu's government didn't just fall, it merged with the BJP. And therefore, the BJP became overnight, the Congress overnight became the BJP. It's a Congress-yukt BJP, and they've done it in state after state. There are about half a dozen chief ministers in the Northeast who have been at some stage with the Congress party, and they've all very happily joined hands with the BJP. It usually happens, Rahul, that whichever party in the center has a disproportionate influence on the Northeast. But I think the BJP, to be fair, has invested a lot of its political capital in building itself in the Northeast.
Infrastructure of the kind that hasn't been there earlier.
So I think
corruption is down, roads are better, there are more airports.
Corruption is down. I will have a huge question mark. I hear all kinds of stories about how money is infrastructure from the
much
center.
better?
No, so the point is,
people of Arunachal have just told you what they think, Rajdeep. It doesn't matter what you think sitting in the studio.
Look,
the people in Arunachal in this assembly poll are telling you what they think. 44 to 51 in an assembly of 60 seats.
Rahul, the fact is,
let's not undermine the intelligence of the voters of these seats.
No, it's not about undermining the intelligence. All I'm saying is that what we've seen in the recent past is that whenever you have a strong party at the center, it has a disproportionate influence over the politics of the Northeast. I am willing to bet that if tomorrow, and it's not going to happen tomorrow, but 10 years from now, if you had a...
Why are you making Modi ji win the next election also? 10 years from now?
10 years from now, if there was a non-BJP government at the center, you will find many of these leaders of the Northeast more than willing to switch sides. But that's been the nature of the politics of that part of the country.
But Rajdeep, this is the degree of mandate which even Congress didn't enjoy in the Northeast.
Sure.
This is what I'm saying, that this is a permanent changes that have happened. It is, Itanagar didn't even have an airport for 75 years. It is the first time they're at least having an airport built into the capital city of Arunachal Pradesh. It used to be such an arduous task.
No, but look at getting to places like Tawang. It used to be so difficult. Now from Delhi in 3 or 4 hours.
There has been a massive improvement in Northeast. But see, the nature of corruption story has changed. What is happening anywhere where you are going to have big infrastructure projects moving, you will have a very different kind of corruption. So what's happening that the petty corruption which people used to suffer has gone down. But a big ticket corruption, which is basically with building roads and other things, that continues to happen in Northeast.
Okay, so we'll be looking at these assembly projections carefully tomorrow, early in the morning. Remember, those are the first two actual results that we are going to get. Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim. Counting will start tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So we'll have results for you of these two states. Now we come to the question we've been waiting for.
400 par ki nahi?
Ab ki baar 400 par. Now, 400 is a big figure to reach. We've seen it in cricket. Brian Lara was the first person to reach 400. Rajiv Gandhi, 1984, was the first to do it in a parliament election. When Narendra Modi said this in February, most people thought not happening, or maybe they thought it was happening for a while, and then suddenly it seemed to disappear off the headlines because the Congress responded and said 400 par means Samvidhan badal denge. But in the last couple of weeks, the BJP has gone back to that 400 par aggression. Is the Axis My India exit poll, and I emphasize this is an exit poll, we don't know what will happen on the 4th, but as of now, it is clearly showing a trend that the BJP and the NDA are dominating this election. One state to go, the state of Uttar Pradesh, India's most populous state, 80 seats on offer, a giant number of seats. And take a look at those numbers. The BJP at 46% of the vote in Uttar Pradesh. The Samajwadi Party in alliance with the Congress is 30%. The BSP, once the mighty force of Uttar Pradesh, down to single digits, just 8%. The Congress plus Samajwadi Party, 39%. Let me add that. 30% Samajwadi Party, 9% Congress. So 39%, which is reasonably high. But on the other side, the BJP, which was just near 50% last time, has only come down to 46%. So we've seen a small dip in the vote share. But when you have a 7% gap, how does that translate into seats? The final seats today on the Axis My India exit poll, 80 seats on offer, BJP 64 to 67, Samajwadi Party 7 to 9, Congress 1 to 3, and the BSP, the elephant, has virtually come to a halt with 0 to 1. So you add the Samajwadi Party and Congress, they come to about 8 to 12 seats. It is domination by the BJP, and Rahul, this is virtually the same number of seats that they got last time, 62 of their own, 2 of the Apna Dal. So they are virtually in the same range. Last time they were taking on the SP, BSP. This time SP, Congress. The BJP has held its own in Uttar Pradesh. And take a look at the top band of Pradeep Gupta. He has gone for the 400 par. 361 to 401 is his range. Midpoint 381. India Alliance 131 to 166. So the midpoint for the India Alliance is about 149. Others 8 to 20. The others have got decimated in a way. Remember Jagan Mohan Reddy, Naveen Patnaik, who had not aligned with any party, they've got decimated. But that's the big story of this election at the moment as per the exit poll. The BJP is heading for its best ever individual performance, and we'll give you their specific numbers. But in alliance with the NDA, Rahul, they could touch or be very close to 400 par.
This is history being made in a year where incumbent after incumbent internationally is facing massive headwinds. India Today and Access My India are predicting that Prime Minister Modi is likely to return with an even bigger mandate. This is epoch, not just in a national context, but even in an international context. Rahul Verma, you want to take us through, if you look at what's happening in other parts of the country, the kind of turbulence the likes of Joe Biden and the others are facing, for Prime Minister Modi 10 years on to come back with this decisive win, which is also where he got a lot of the confidence from. And which is why, and if you look at their manifesto, there are no flamboyant promises of 8,500 rupees coming into your account. They've been very, very fiscally conservative, and yet they've had the trust of the Indian voter.
That is true. See, I think globally Prime Minister Modi is considered one of the most popular leaders. If you look in India itself, by the time Prime Minister Nehru was in his third election, Congress party in that sense was like facing headwinds. Here what you are seeing that with every successive election, BJP is not only improving its vote share and seat share if this holds on 4th of June, but is entering into new territory. So what Prime Minister Modi has been able to do is to create a new BJP, a BJP which was restricted in North India, a BJP which was considered a middle class, upper caste party, has now become a pan-India party, represents all Hindu caste and Hindu society in a very, very big way.
Imagine
and this is dominance.
There's a G7 meeting that's supposed to happen in a few days after the results come out. The Prime Minister goes there. The likes of Joe Biden are facing massive headwinds. They have no clue what's happening. Trudeau is facing massive headwinds. And the Prime Minister comes in with an even bigger mandate. Everybody's going to be saying, Modi ji, aap batao aapka secret kya hai? You know, that one question which was mocked, what's the secret of your success? I think world leaders are going to be asking him the same question after this.
You know, it's quite remarkable. You're absolutely right. To stay in power over a period, now it'll be 15 years when he completes his next term, is not easy, particularly in a country like India, which is so diverse, where, remember, the last 5 years have been tough. There's been COVID, falling incomes as a result of COVID, jobs that people lost. I think that from that 2021 low point, Rahul, the second COVID wave, which is now, 2.5 years ago, to have then bounced back, he, of course, he's a master political strategist. And a very, very artful communicator. You know, people, when I say this, they say, but you know, particularly the echo chambers of those who believe that, look, you know, why are you giving Mr. Modi all this credit of being a communicator? Look at the divisive rhetoric. All of that is part of the package. Look, there are two Narendra Modis. He knows which audience to address when. I think Fareed Zakaria in that interview to you the other day put it well. He is both the insider and the outsider. He plays the role of the anti-establishment hero when, and he plays the role of the Hindutva macho hero when he wants to. So he has different constituencies which he addresses at different times. The middle class is addressed through Viksit Bharat. You'll address an audience, your core Hindutva audience, with Mangal Sutra, Machli, mutton politics. And you will try and do that without one impeding the other. You manage the media very well. It's a skill that he has. He said in a BBC interview, the one failing after 2002 is I didn't know how to manage the media.
But Rajdeep, I think that's been very shallow.
No, you've done
this
all
goes
of that.
Way beyond. Listen, when
no,
we
it doesn't
did that,
go way beyond. You take over, he has completely taken over the entire space. Plus, as we saw the numbers. He's taken over the
mind space of the Indian voter. That's the reality.
Sure, and
which goes way beyond anything that's being said in a speech. This is a connect that the Prime Minister has with the Indian voter. You can't take away from that.
You're absolutely right. Nobody's denying.
Then why are you making it seem like it's devious? It's the way the Indian voter perceives it.
I never said devious. I said a political strategist is someone who at the end of the day, you need an emotional connect to win for so many elections. You can't do it without the emotional connect. My limited point is, Prime Minister Modi has shown over this period of time that he has the skill to adapt, to be flexible, to be able to do these alliances, Chandrababu Naidu, one day, other alliances that he's done over the years, broken parties. At the same time, look at the state of the opposition. Mr. Modi's rise has come also at a time when the Congress party has simply lurched from one crisis to another.
So how's that Modi ji's fault?
It's not his fault.
Then?
But I'm only often as good as my opposition is. If my opposition is just not able to rise up to the challenge. You see, please look at I keep maintaining, Rahul, 2014 figures. BJP bests Congress in almost all direct contests. Same thing happens in 2019. If Pradeep's poll is right, it's happening in 2024. You see, you make one mistake, chalo theek hai, you try and adapt to the mistake next time. You again make the same mistakes, then there's something wrong. They have never quite understood the Modi phenomenon. And I think
because they've had their eyes shut and they've got blinkers in their eyes, not wanting to acknowledge the reality which was staring them in the face. Shankar Iyer wants to come in.
Let's redraw the frame. Forget about the international leaders, what they're doing, whatever. Here's a country of 1.4 billion people, over 980 million voters. He has dominated the narrative. He's the message, he's the medium, he's the candidate, he's fought all the 543 seats. The thing that most people were talking about before the elections or during the election campaign is that BJP will do well, but its regional allies may struggle. What he has done or what the BJP has done is actually carried the entire baggage with them. Look at the performance of the regional allies. JDU was written off. NCP in Maharashtra, Shiv Sena 2 was written off. He has taken TDP together. So there is a whole new thing happening here of his ability to expand his footprint while others are standing on his shoulders.
And you asked me the other day, what is the narrative of this election? And I said, it was yesterday on the Democratic Newsroom, there's one narrative, Prime Minister Modi.
But what about all those?
Rajdeep,
what about all those who are writing column after column, television show after television show कि कांटे की टक्कर है, बड़ी हवा निकली हुई है, silent voter है, कुछ दिख नहीं रहा, because they were blinded by hate. The fact is, if you are blinded, not you, not you. I'm saying if people are blinded by hate, they'll only find कि हवा नहीं है, silent है, नाराजगी है, ये है, वो है.
आप लोगों ने सब अपने नंबर कर दिए. Yesterday, my postscript in the Hindustan Times column. I have stayed away from predicting the final electoral outcome, leaving the number crunching to the exit pollsters. But here is a hint. Amidst heightened state-level competition, expect a clear-cut national verdict. If you remember in Mumbai the other day, I said, we'll be home by 12 noon. It's over. You can see it. Look, I have...
No, but also imagine...
you see what? I'll tell you why.
But the same people make the same mistake in election after election, where they come back confused because they don't want to see the reality that stares them in the face.
No, but can I just with one caveat? You see, it's not as if there aren't other narratives, Rahul. There are people's concerns. When I go as a reporter to the field, I see the onion farmers in Maharashtra and their concerns. The rural distress is genuine.
There are concerns.
There are rozgar
but who do voters think is best suited to solve these concerns? That's the point, right?
So that's right.
There are concerns, but people think the Prime Minister is best suited to solve them.
Absolutely right. So I don't think I would blame the reporters when I go into the field, let's say in a Nashik. I will see the onion farmers. I will report their crisis. I think when we mix that with electoral outcomes, I think electoral outcomes have to be kept separate from the narrative, the reality on the ground.
This is what I have been saying, that issues are there. Credibility of who can solve those issues are totally different.
No.
You know, this old adage that used to go around that it is the economy stupid, that is no longer true in India. I'll just finish this point.
Second.
Because this is a pivotal point. It's a policy's pivotal point because, see, on one side, they kept throwing economic subsidies like khata. That was a principal proposition in this election, that I am going to give direct transfers. आप पूछोगे मुझसे कि 1 लाख क्यों दे रहे हो तो मैं 2 लाख कर दूंगा. ये इसकी कोई credibility नहीं है, because in Himachal Pradesh, the same Congress party who is struggling to give even 1,000 rupees, same go to Tamil Nadu, they are struggling to give 1,000 rupees to the women. How on earth are you going to give 1 lakh rupees? People understand that this party does not have credibility.
It's very, my worry with this. No, my worry with this, and Preeti, I want you to, is the sweeping generalization we've just made. Because you know what's going to happen in the next 1 year? There are elections in Maharashtra, there are elections in Haryana, there are elections in Jharkhand, and the election in Delhi. If I was a serious opposition strategist or a member of the opposition, I would put all my energies in all these 4 states, because even with these numbers, there are enough green shoots in all these 4 states that show the opposition has more than half a chance. I think Narendra Modi ji, when he's on the ticket, lifts the BJP. The same Narendra Modi ji, when he's not on the ticket, the BJP is often very vulnerable. Now the opposition, therefore, as you say, khatakat is all very well. But if they do khatakat politics, it may well work in a state election. Like it has, look at guarantees. The same khatakat guarantees worked in Karnataka and Vidhan Sabha.
It unravels very fast. This is Rajdeep, you give them the chance, it unravels.
It may unravel, Tiger, because the fact is Karnataka voters have also voted for BJP for the last 20 years in a Lok Sabha and voted differently in a Vidhan Sabha. One size doesn't fit all in India. So, we should hesitate before we say all is doom and gloom. But I want you to wait. Yes, go ahead.
The only thing I'm saying is, if you went down in 2019 with what Rahul said, that why is it that everybody came out and said this was a wave election then? If these are the numbers, this was a bigger wave than 2019. But you didn't hear that wave. In 2019, it was screaming at you. This time around, what we call the silent vote was clearly a settled voter. He knew exactly where he wanted to go and vote.
Analogy. See, you wanted to hear an India-Pakistan kind of a match. It was an India-Zimbabwe match. Of course, it was a silent affair, but
the silent voter this time was a settled voter. So therefore, the people who went out there...
We're all running away from the central theme here.
Which is?
The central theme is one of alternatives. If you're in the US stock market and you want to invest in an AI play, you will buy NVIDIA because there is nothing else. So here in this domain, there is Mr. Modi and his credibility or his performance or his execution and his all the 360 degrees of this that he presents to the voter. The opposition has simply not been able to present anything. And as long as that struggle goes, look at this time, the Congress versus BJP number. If it was 136 in 2014, 224 in 2019, it will be much higher this
But
time
there is a
in
problem. What
2024.
Shankar Iyer says is correct. If the opposition realizes its weaknesses and failures, the problem is the Indian opposition thinks they're doing a great job. You know, instead of thinking
with
that
these numbers, the Congress will probably be a little more than they were last time.
Would it be possible to break down NDA and India numbers?
We can do that. In a moment, I'll have that out for you. I want to go across to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, 361 to 401. That's the India Today Access My India range. I hope you've been watching our coverage and loving every moment of it. Sanju, welcome. Congratulations. It seems you and your party are set to make history.
Yes, congratulations to Narendra Modi. I think he's broken every conventional norm. He's, the most popular leader with a 78% popularity rating globally. And imagine after 10 years of being in power, I mean, if we get 365 seats, that would actually translate into a vote share of 45%, and it would translate into a strike rate of 72%. Don't forget, in 2014, we had a strike rate of 66%, a strike rate of 69% in 2019. We had a vote share of 31% in 2014 and a vote share of 37.36% in 2019. Assuming that we only see a 21% increase in vote share between 2014 and 2019, which is what happened. A 21% increase in vote share is what we are talking of. We are talking of 365 seats. That is as incredible as it can get. And I've said this in the past and I'll repeat. Narendra Modi is a leader born once in a millennium, and I'm so happy that I'm witnessing history being made right now, right here. And for everybody out there who thought, "Arey, is baar to bahut ho gaya, is baar to BJP ki naiya paar nahi lagegi." Guys, you've got a nice big fat omelette on your face. Please start accepting the fact that Narendra Modi does not win elections just by fluke. Please understand, he's had 206 rallies. Yogi Adityanath did 200 rallies. Amit Shah did 188 rallies. JP Nadda did 134 rallies. And Rajnath Singh did 91 rallies. Bakiyon ki to main baat hi nahi kar rahi. And Prime Minister Modi did 82 odd interviews. I mean, can you show me what is Rahul Gandhi's track record? What has he done? Did he try and reach the last mile voter? What has Arvind Kejriwal delivered? What has Akhilesh Yadav delivered besides delivering bombast? What has Naveen Patnaik delivered?
Sanju Verma's got a bazooka going.
Ma'am, you're on the roll. At this rate, you'll score 400 on your own. But, why don't you...
Finish, Rajdeep. Today. One minute. I have something nice to say to you. I have something nice to say to you. I'm not going to finish.
Nice. Please say it.
Yes. I promise myself, यदि exit poll के दिन BJP 315, 320 या 330 पार करती है, यहाँ तो बता रहे हैं कि 360 तो आराम से पार हो जाएंगे, बाकी चाहे किसी को दूं ना दूं. राजदीप सरदेसाई, you tell me what is your favorite sweet meat? यदि आप चाहते हैं तो आपको मैं मैसूर पाक का एक डब्बा जरूर डिलीवर करवाऊंगी आपके दिल्ली के पंचशील पार्क के एड्रेस पर, because I think I've had some of the most feisty debates.
Now I'm worried you don't even know where I stay.
No, I'm very nicely only offering you the mithai.
Now,
what is this?
Okay, but
She's only sending mithai to Rajdeep.
I thought you were going to say that you were, your on news tak I had said this. अगर मोदी जीतेंगे तो 84 तक जो 1984 में आया था वो हो सकता है. So I thought you were going to compliment me and then give me Mysore Park. But that's apart. Ghanshyam Tiwari, you want to respond if these numbers hold. And we, as I said, it's an exit poll, but directionally all exit polls have put the NDA above 350. Will you all accept now it's time to completely course correct, or we are entering an age of BJP dominance of the kind this country has never seen?
Good evening, Rajiv, to you, the viewers and fellow co-panelists, and I congratulate everyone who voted as well as everyone who battled in this election as enabling the vote in 46, 47, 48 degrees heat. As far as the numbers are concerned, we are not waking up to this one number. This election has been followed by everyone from day one, and we have seen in terms of confidence, Mr. Modi went from Hindu-Muslim to mutton, meat, machli and mujra. So that's not a sign of confidence. That the voters clearly demonstrated that they have zero enthusiasm towards Mr. Modi, and those are visible in the numbers. Story after story that the media covered, the complaints to Election Commission showed that it is voters who wanted to vote against BJP that were not allowed to vote, or the Election Commission machinery was found short of its efficiency. So clearly, these numbers...
Are you blaming that? Are you saying those few hundred voters?
Come on, this is really unfair.
There have been some instances, but not across the country.
In defeat, there must be some grace. You cannot say...
Rahul,
yes.
Rahul, grace is... Rahul, please allow me to complete. I did not interrupt anybody. I have been waiting for 30 minutes. I have said 2 sentences. This is not a defeat. This is an exit poll. And let there be grace in the studio that to recognize, smell the coffee, this is exit poll. We have seen this election unfold. The real mandate will be on 4th June. Anybody who wants to jump off the chair and jump off the window can. But I am not. I believe that in this election, Mr. Modi went from meat, machli and to mujra, and it's a disappointment to not just us. Dr. Manmohan Singh wrote that this is the lowest Indian Prime Minister has fallen to. So this is the reality of this election. The reality of the votes will come out on 4th June. We have put out a numbers that 295 plus is the India number, and I stand by that. Now let the people who went out and did the exit polls, let them stand by the numbers. We will know the truth on 4th June. Today,
they have no option but to stand by their numbers. You know, I want to spend a moment. Have no option but to stand by their numbers. You know, I want to spend a moment looking at the party-wise. 7% in the last election goes up to 40%. The Congress goes up from about 19.5 to about 21. So you're seeing the Congress. Now, are they going to start getting really excited? This is a comeback. We bounced back. It's only 2%. The BJP's vote share is up 3. From 37 to 40, it's the maximum the BJP's ever had. It's some transformation. The maximum the Congress ever had was 49% in 1984. The BJP at 40, 3% up from the last time. The NDA at 47, 2% up from the last time. If you come to the Congress party now, the Congress by itself at 21% vote share. So there is some uptick, but when you've already fallen so low, there is no way apart from going up. But you're going up just by a notch. 2% up from the last time. The Congress is at 21. Congress allies, the India alliance is at 18. Taken together, they're at 39% vote share.
You know, I give a data point, Rahul, which again I think emphasizes how Indian politics has transformed. 2009, the BJP got about 7 crores of the popular vote. By 2019, the BJP vote had come to 22 crores. The Congress vote in 2009, the last time they formed a government, was about 11 crores. By 2019, it was still around 11.8 crores. So as India's population has expanded, we now have 97 crore voters. With 19-21%, effectively you're static. You know, you can do 1 or 2, but for 15 years now you're static. That's the point I've been making. While we, can give credit to Mr. Modi for the way he's taken the BJP on to the next level with Amit Shah, we have to ask questions as to why is it that the Congress has remained static? And unless that question is answered, I don't think you'll ever get a full answer to the reasons why Narendra Modi is able to do what other leaders across the world are not able to do. You've got to reinvent, you've got to find a new way of doing your politics. No, but that's not happening.
But I have something to say. You know, when the Prime Minister did that interview with us, at the end of it, he said, "Aap logon ko research karni chahiye ki Modi kya hai?" And that there's something special that's going on. And he said that it needs to be researched. A lot of people derided him, mocked him, etc. The fact is, if he ends up between 361 and 401, this is not normal electoral politics. This is going against electoral trends internationally.
Yeah. As a politician, not a divinity. I hope we are not regarding him as divinity. I heard the word, because that's my problem somewhere.
See, this is politically it is hypocritical, Rajdeep.
Politically.
What else are we discussing here? We are not opening a divinity school out here.
No, you're non-biological नहीं बोल रहे हो ना?
अरे Rajdeep, this is where you will continue to misjudge Modi. What he said, let me again reiterate. He said, we are all not here for a larger purpose. This is the essence of Hinduism. You should know this. What did he say? He clearly meant, see, we are all here for a purpose. भगवान भेजता है हमें कुछ काम करने के लिए. मुझको भेजा है देश बचाने के लिए. Where is the, you people you kept on drawing conclusions that he is saying that I am divine intervention or perhaps direct, not a biological child. This is your extrapolation. He never said that. Okay. And this is going on and on and on. The problem
I think like if these numbers hold, something which is very interesting. This would be the first time when BJP is going to have an MP in every state, and especially last state. Last time Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Andhra, they had.
That's why it's huge. And the other factor, Rahul, I think eventually you will have these numbers, hopefully tomorrow, is the gender breakup. I'm sure Pradeep Gupta's, my sense, I've been saying this, the Mahila factor. The Labharti constituency which the BJP has built under Modi Shah is enormous. The number of families who in some way or the other, whether you benefit from Jan Dhan Yojana, whether you benefit from 5 kg rice, Awas Yojana, in some way we saw what the economic figures were that came out yesterday. Shankar will be able to tell us more. There's a sense that the middle class feels there's something in it for them. The person at the lower end of the pyramid today feels that there are those who've lost out as well. It's been tough times. Let's not get, at times we get carried away and believe that, everything is milk and honey. It's not. I think the challenge...
who's believing? The BJP doesn't think everything is milk and honey.
So the BJP also, every political party which has been in power over the years, at times, has not been able to address the concerns of every Indian all the time. What the BJP has successfully done is created a sufficiently large constituency of genuine Labhartis who feel that this government can at least give them something which they did not perhaps get 5 or 10 years ago.
See, this is bankruptcy of credibility. Why is it the case that in every state that you rule, you promise the moon and you underdeliver consistently? For past decades and decades, you've been underdelivering. Why should a common person trust you? You have 3-4 states even now. Why can't you create a model state? Give us a credible example of how opposition should run the state. Give us that counter narrative.
Excellent point.
The counterfactual does not exist. And for 10 years, we've been waiting for the counterfactual. When will Congress live up to the expectations that we have of the opposition, come up with a party with a difference, become that party, showcase how a state is to be run, and present that as a model example to counter Narendra Modi? None of the states does that. Mamta cannot do that. Aam Aadmi Party cannot. They've made a mockery of democracy everywhere. Same goes with Revanth Reddy or be it Siddharamaiah. Where is that example?
Revanth's been in power just for a few months. We'll give him a slight benefit of doubt.
Fair enough,
but my limited point is this. If these numbers hold, Rahul, on Tuesday, introspection will have to be done by the opposition of a kind that so far they've been incapable of doing.
Themselves completely incapable
as I said, they've been incapable of doing. If they don't do it, we will have the same thing repeating again and again, because the tragedy is that it's not easy in India to occupy a pan-Indian opposition space as well. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't build... The Congress is a brand, but every brand needs reinvention. They've not done that. Preeti, when you look at these numbers, are you stunned by them? Do you get a sense that the voices that you heard on the ground who spoke about issues like Berozgari, Dalit families who spoke about their concerns, their anxieties, do you believe that all of them at the end of the day still believe that given the choices available, when I go into the polling booth, I vote for Prime Minister Modi? It could be because of a sense of Hinduness. Let's not forget the Ram Mandir factor as a silent factor. It could be because I think the reason is I want stability and continuity. I don't want to disrupt. At the moment, Mr. Modi, and I heard people in the village saying, Sir, उन्होंने तो चंद्रयान किया है. वो तो हमको हमारे लोगों को चांद पर ले गए. So, you see, Mr. Modi has been able to address different constituencies. Do you feel that reporters got it wrong?
The states that I traveled to, Rajasthan, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, am I shocked with these numbers? I would have thought that it'd be about 50-60 lesser, to be very honest. I thought it'd be hovering about 320 or 330 is what my best bet was. And what you speak of, where the voter is concerned, I'd said that from day one. What you picked up was disenchantment, you did not pick up disgust. You picked up disillusionment, you did not pick up anger. Anger is hatana hai. Ab samne koi aur ho par hatana hai. We didn't pick that up. What we picked was disenchantment.
Pradeep Gupta is back with us. Pradeep bhai, there's only one question which people want to know. 400 par honge ki nahi honge? You've got the maximum range 401. You're just about hitting the edge of 400. 400 par is possible, looking tough.
क्या possible है मैं बता दूं.
बताओ.
या तो के नंबर ये 350 होगा, 10-11 सीटें कम, या तो के ये नंबर 10-11 सीटें ज्यादा होगा. बस यही होगा और मुझे नहीं लगता कि
350 or 411.
Yes, 410 के ऊपर मुझे नहीं लगता जाएगा.
Let's talk about 400 par. What could change or what could happen which takes it towards 400? Because the entire BJP ecosystem wants to know कि 400 हो रहे कि नहीं. मोदी जी आ रहे हैं, सबको पता चल गया.
नहीं, देखिए, बंगाल, महाराष्ट्र, उड़ीसा, आंध्र प्रदेश, ये 4 स्टेट के अंदर जो हमने आंकड़े दिए हैं वो यदि अपनी हायर रेंज की तरफ जाते हैं तो फिर कहीं कोई दिक्कत होनी नहीं है। उत्तर प्रदेश में मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता कि कोई बहुत बड़ा उलटफेर हो सकता है। उलटफेर का केवल जो बड़े नंबर हो सकते हैं वो बंगाल में 4 से 5 सीटें यहाँ वहाँ होने से फर्क पड़ता है।
But you put out your Odisha numbers. A lot of people are saying Pradeep got Odisha wrong last time. He'll get Odisha wrong hopelessly this time as well.
अब रॉन्ग तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, लेकिन मैं तो अपने ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड से चलूँगा कि 69 में से 64 इलेक्शंस वी कॉल्ड मोस्ट एक्यूरेटली, तो 94% के साथ जाना आज की डेट में बेहतर है। गलत कुछ भी हो सकता है, उसमें कोई वो बड़ी बात नहीं है।
Which poll are you most concerned about in terms of potentially getting something wrong? Where do you have the highest confidence? Where are you most concerned?
Concern in West Bengal and confidence in Uttar Pradesh.
Why concerned in West Bengal?
West Bengal
because you've shown too many, 26 to 31. You know, I'll tell you one thing. Even top BJP leaders involved in West Bengal were hoping कि यार इनसे थोड़ी ज्यादा आ जाए। आपने तो बोला वो आधे हो गए, ये डबल हो गए।
अब नेता तो उनके बारे में क्या कहा जाए, उनकी अपनी सोच और समझ है, लेकिन ज़मीन के ऊपर बंगाल में काम करना, जैसे मैंने बताया कि हमारी टीम इस समय भी, इस सर्वे के दौरान भी कई बार जेल तक गई।
No, so then that could mean there could be even a bigger victory. Does that mean that because there's a level of local fear?
कुछ देखिए, करीब 10 से 12 सीटें ऐसी हैं कि वहाँ पर इतना ज़्यादा माइनॉरिटी का नंबर है कि वो बहुत मुश्किल है। सिर्फ एक बरहमपुर में नंबर ज़्यादा है, लेकिन वहाँ कांग्रेस भी इक्वली स्ट्रांग है, इसीलिए वहाँ पर चांस बनता है।
Who are you giving Berhampur to, by the way? Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary versus Yusuf Pathan?
मेरे हिसाब से जो मेरा सीक्वेंस आ रहा है, तीनों में से कोई भी जीत सकता है, लेकिन चांस टीएमसी के ज़्यादा है।
But Pradeep,
you're saying Yusuf Pathan can defeat Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary?
Yes, I am saying so.
Pradeep ji, the 1 to 3
चांस वो भी जीत सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है
कि it's a close fight.
It's a close fight.
Pradeep ji, the 1 to 3 seats you're giving Congress in Uttar Pradesh, which are the second and the third?
नहीं, अभी उसके लिए
But you're giving Rae-Bareli. Am I correct? You're giving Rae-Bareli to the...
Yes.
No, I just want to tell our viewers, tomorrow at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. tomorrow is when we will show you the seat by seat forecast. If I give ऐसे आप पूछते रहोगे, side show करते रहोगे, तो कल क्या करेंगे? So 8 p.m. tomorrow, the seat by seat forecast. So 6 p.m. we'll show you the Odisha assembly numbers. 7 p.m. we'll show you the Andhra Pradesh assembly numbers. Lot of interest in that. But, you know, we have 3 days of programming to go, and we wouldn't have been able to do a good enough job in squeezing it in today, so we've held it back for tomorrow. The election intelligence dashboard will be up and running, so we'll be able to do very serious hardcore analytics on these numbers as well to draw up the national picture. And also, we look at how this impacts markets, how this impacts the economy, so we'll be starting at 5 p.m. What I want to do is spend a moment just looking at where you think you're most vulnerable, Pradeep, in the poll. You mentioned West Bengal as being one area of vulnerability. Where else?
Andhra Pradesh, no. Odisha, some, but not 1 or 2, 3 seats here.
Why was the BJP confused? If this 18 to 20 is what your poll is showing, how is it that the BJP was wanting to tie up with Naveen Patnaik?
No, see, they were trying to tie up with each and every regional party in the country, starting from Karnataka JDS. See, last time they fought election with Congress, JDS. RLD, last time they contest election with Mahagathbandhan with SP, BSP. So, in the same series, they wanted to have Gathbandhan even with Akali Dal in Punjab, in AIDMK with AIDMK in Tamil Nadu. So, that's the part of their strategy. जैसे राजदीप ने थोड़ी देर पहले कहा, no matter whatever the situation, we need to win, we need to win, we need to win, and we need to win big.
I'll give you the story of the Biju Janata Dal. Actually, it's the other way around. Naveen Patnaik and those around him, you interviewed Mr. Pandian, they were the ones who were keen for a tie-up because they thought that Naveen Babu is getting, as he gets older, he's not going to be able to really be out there day after day taking on this BJP juggernaut. So it was in a way, and he enjoys an excellent personal equation with the Prime Minister. They thought they would take the benefit of that, give Naveen Babu these 5 years in Odisha, he would break all the records, and if the BJP wanted to grow in the Lok Sabha, so be it. Therefore, this was almost a plan in a way where both sides would have something to hold on to. What does the BJP do? Amit Shah and the local unit say, no, This is our opportunity. We've been for 10 years battling Naveen Patnaik. Now this is our moment to strike. So I think it shows that the BJP is, I keep repeating, a party with the killer instinct, a party which is flexible, and a party which will do whatever it takes to win an election. You will tie up with an Ajit Pawar, make sure that Ajit Pawar's wife contests against Supriya Sule. You can't just join us. You join us and make sure your wife contests against your niece. That's the level of their willingness to go that extra mile.
आप गठबंधन की बात कर रहा था मैं और बीच में फिर बात चालू हुई, तो ये तो हो गया एनडीए का गठबंधन, बट आप अपोजिशन का देखिए कि नीतीश कुमार ने 1-1.5 साल पहले चालू किया अगुवाई में अपनी खुद के सबको जुटाने की कोशिश की, और हकीकत क्या है, हकीकत जान लीजिए, 358 सीट्स के ऊपर गठबंधन नहीं हुआ। कोई ना कोई पार्टी चुनाव लड़ रही, राइट फ्रॉम उत्तर प्रदेश टू बंगाल, बड़े बड़े स्टेट्स हैं। 358 सीट, 85 सीट्स के ऊपर कंट्री में 543 में से गठबंधन हुआ, जो कि तमिलनाडु, राजस्थान, झारखंड, दिल्ली और महाराष्ट्र कह सकते हैं उसके अंदर इन सीटों के ऊपर गठबंधन हुआ। वो भी महाराष्ट्र के अंदर पूरी तरह से एक सिनारियो दूसरा हुआ कि उस गठबंधन के भी हिस्से टूट गए और थोड़े से इधर चले गए और थोड़े से उधर चले गए। उसमें भी प्रकाश अंबेडकर की जो पार्टी है वो दलित वोट को स्प्लिट करके, डेंट करके बहुत बड़ा नुकसान होता है कांग्रेस पार्टी का या उनके गठबंधन का।
Okay, so we have a few things we need to run through. We have these hot seats from Uttar Pradesh. So we'll take those seats one by one. I'll start with Rai Bareli. Let's show you what's happening in Rai Bareli, which way the cool hawa is blowing in Rai Bareli. So Access My India predicts for India Today that in the seat of Rai Bareli, Rahul Gandhi seems to be doing well. He was up against Dinesh Pratap Singh of the BJP. Rahul Gandhi seems to be comfortably placed in Rai Bareli. Is it a very tight fight or an easy fight for Rahul Gandhi?
अच्छी खासी हवा चल रही है।
अच्छी खासी हवा चल रही है। Okay, let's now come to Varanasi. In Varanasi, there's a very strong wind blowing in favor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. India Today and Access My India predict, if there was any doubt in anybody's mind, that Prime Minister Modi is likely to win handsomely in Varanasi. From there, I now want to come to Nagina. Nagina is where Chandrasekhar Azad Ravan is contesting. India Today and Access My India are projecting, and this would cause some ripples, that Chandrasekhar Azad Ravan could potentially win Nagina. Are you sure, Gupta ji?
नहीं, नगीना में अच्छी फाइट दे रहे हैं, सारा का सारा वोट एक तरफी, यानी नगीना is again where 35% about minority vote, but super consolidation.
So Preeti, you went there, right? In Nagina, and if this is true that Chandrasekhar Azad could actually win the seat, this will change Dalit politics in Uttar Pradesh completely. Why I say that also, Rajdeep, this is the seat of Dalit politics.
Sure.
Mayawati has done what it takes. The reason, and also Samajwadi Party. So he was speaking to us, Chandrasekhar Azad, and I'll tell you what he told us. He says, "हमको क्यों नहीं लिया India Alliance में?" He says, "आपको क्या लगता है हमको क्यों नहीं लिया? हमको लेने वाले थे, क्यों नहीं लिया? क्योंकि समाजवादी पार्टी हमको नहीं अंदर लेना चाह रही थी." So for so for them, where the Samajwadi Party is concerned, where the BSP is concerned.
Okay. Let's take a look.
I just checked at the moment with Pradeep for the BJP's individual numbers. They're coming to 322 to 340, he says. That's the range he's given.
मैं आपको प्रॉपर टैली बताता हूँ।
322 to 3, yes.
मैं अब एक, आप लोगों ने तो बोल दिया, मैं अपने नंबर अब खुद ही बोल
दो।
एनडीए बीजेपी प्लस 361 to 401.
Okay.
Congress, India Gadbandhan 131 to 166. TMC is included in this. Others, जिसमें जो include नहीं है वो YSRCP, बीजू जनता दल, BRS, AIDMK, ये इसमें include नहीं है। अब इंडिविजुअल बीजेपी की खुद की सीटें 322, 322 to 340. एनडीए अलाइज 39 to 61, 39 to 61, रब भाषा में 40 से 60. कांग्रेस 60 to 76 सीट, 60 to 76 सीट, एंड इंडिया गठबंधन अलाइज 71 to 90 सीट्स. 71. Now the vote share also is very important. BJP plus last time they won, NDA won secured 45% vote share, this time 47%. Congress India 39, again I am repeating, TMC is an Aam Aadmi Party included in this, apart from left parties and other regional parties. And BJP, its own vote share 40% as against 37.3% last time. 37.3% last time to 40% this time, and Allies 7%, and Congress 19% last time to 21% this time, and Allies 18%.
You know, can I just say,
this is my
which is not
exit poll
from this
survey.
polling data, but if you go beyond, even at this moment, the BJP is almost twice that of the Congress. And when imagine 2029, no matter who's on the ticket, if the BJP starts with 40% and the Congress starts with 20%, it's very difficult to imagine the direction being entirely reversed. There could be reverses for sure, but to imagine the direction being completely altered, just statistically makes...
Narendra Modi with them,
which is average.
Now, my feeling, Rahul, is that as I said again, and I think we should say this because, you want democratic contestation. I think you will find it in the state elections. I am willing to put a small wager, and I've put it for some time. Vidhan Sabha elections over the next 2 years, between now and Bihar, which is at the end of 2025, are going to be hugely competitive. They're going to put Pradeep Gupta on the line because they are tougher to predict often than general elections. Vidhan Sabha elections,
including Haryana,
Jharkhand, Jammu and Kashmir. There are a series of elections, each of which will give you a sense of just why India is so fascinating. I think nationally elections, Rahul, are becoming presidential, and people are saying, "Mujhe leader kaun chahiye?" One of the questions, I want a leader who promises stability and continuity. Mr. Modi embodies stability and continuity the way a large number of Indians
Let's take our viewers through the poll of polls. Gupta ji versus the others. Let's see how that stacks up. On your screen now, the poll of polls. We don't really believe any of the other pollsters or care very much for them, but for what it is worth, here it is. CNX 371 to 401. Matrice 353 to 368. P Mark 359, Jan Ki Baat 362 to 392. Gupta ji as always an outlier. He's saying 400 par. CNX also is saying 400 par, but Gupta ji is the bigger outlier. Okay, let's look at the India Alliance. India Today Group Access My India says the India Alliance between 131 to 166. CNX says 109 to 139. Jan Ki Baat says 141 to 161. P Mark says 154. The funniest thing was those channels which ran two polls. One in which they showed the BJP around 270, the other in which they showed the BJP 300 par. Throw lots of darts at a board and then say, I hit bullseye. That's really not how polling happens. That's a joke. So this is the poll of polls. Directionally, it seems quite clear that the BJP is winning and that Narendra Modi is scoring a phenomenal hat-trick. The only question is 400 par honge. That's the interest. That's the one interest. Ke 400 par, this 401, which is the upper end of the limit, the range that's been given, whether that comes through or not, that really is the question.
And these are those 3 or 4 states, Rahul, that will decide that, mostly in peninsular India. Bengal, Odisha, Andhra, Telangana, down to even Kerala.
So what music have you been practicing your dance steps to, Gupta ji?
I'm not practicing it. I was doing my survey all these days.
Rajdeep must have chosen a track. Rajdeep, have you chosen a track?
We'll do it on Monday. On Monday, Pradeep and I will sit and choose a track. Hopefully, our numbers will be right. Look, I think at the end of the day, the direction is very clear. The Congress, I think, and the opposition is clutching at straws when they're targeting the exit polls. And I will be surprised if we have a surprise on that day. But I still hope that at 12, we always want maybe one result somewhere which will give us something exciting, hopefully, in some part of the country.
There could be some
talking points.
I think
some talking points, yes.
Like on June 4, what would be interesting to look at is one section of states which is Bihar, Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Haryana, where BJP is losing from the last time. Whether it loses that much or given, if you look rest of India, where BJP is gaining, if the losses are contained, then you are more closer.
So the election intelligence dashboard is ready and raring to go. We're very excited. We'll fire up all the exit poll numbers on this tomorrow. We'll do some deep analytics around these numbers, try and make sense of this poll, and then it'll be live starting 6 a.m. when Sikkim starts to count. All that coming up in our coverage. Super Saturday is over, Sunday awaits, then we're counting down to Tuesday. We're all super excited and ready to go, and we're looking forward to having you with us. I want to show you the live concurrents at this moment. Even now, India Today, more than all its competitors put together, multiplied by 2. If you look at that graph, that is the only graph that is bigger, stronger, bolder than the BJP's graph anywhere out in the country tonight is the India Today television
orange
graph.
deliberately.
Oh,
You chose orange
that
as
is
the
all
colour.
there's no conspiracy there. That's all automatically chosen. If you add Network 18, Republic, Times Now, NDTV, Beyond, First Post, they are still less than half of India Today television. Total domination by the Prime Minister, total domination by the BJP, total domination also by India Today television. We hope to keep this continuing all through tomorrow and also Monday and Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you for joining us on this exit poll. Gupta ji, we hope you are right. Let's just see how this goes.
I too hope so.
Yeah, we don't want to get the poll wrong. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow early in the morning. See you. Goodbye. Good night.
वेदर शील्ड पावर फ्लेक्स, इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से। इट्स कलरफुल, इट्स पावरफुल।
Higher, more creation, more possibilities.
घर रूंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता। रूंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल। रूंगटा स्टील TMD बार, एकदम सॉलिड।
What you doing? Yeah, you're getting me down. Got me looking at you, scared in the crowd.
Why do you wanna move like that? Why you want
Coming for you. Let me show you why.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
Let's now go to Kerala. Kerala is the one state where between the LDF and the UDF they hope to polish off all the seats, but the BJP is hoping to make an entry and the few very keenly contested seats that the BJP thinks it's in with a chance. So let's see what's happening in Kerala. Rajdeep.
Okay, let's go to Kerala, the lovely state of Kerala, God's own country, and of course a state where the principal battle has always been in the backwaters of Kerala between the Left Democratic Front and the UDF, the Congress-led front. Look at percentages first. Clearly at the moment, as you can see in the state of Kerala, the Congress front is holding its own, 41% to them. The LDF is 29%. So they are substantial. NDA has grown. 27% will probably be the highest ever that the BJP has got in the state of Kerala. This is board share, remember. Others are 3. 41%, 29% to the two major fronts, but the NDA also getting a very healthy 27% in the state of Kerala. How is all this translating at the moment into seats? And look at this, another minor shock for you, because what it suggests, Congress is 13 to 14, add the 4 allies from the UDF, that's 18, 1 to the left, and 2 to 3 to the BJP. This in a state where the BJP has never won an election. BJP has never won a Lok Sabha election in Kerala. As per the Axis My India poll, the BJP could win 2 to 3. Remember, there are seats like Thrissur, 3 seats like Thiruvananthapuram that the BJP was eyeing. Could this be the BJP's big breakthrough that they've been waiting for in Kerala?
शील्ड पावर फ्लेक्स,
इसका हर रंग लड़े धूप, धूल और बारिश से।
इट्स कलरफुल, इट्स पावरफुल।
घर रूंगटा स्टील से बनाया होता तो रईस यहाँ से नहीं आ पाता। रूंगटा स्टील का यही कमाल, एक बार लगे चले सालों साल। रूंगटा स्टील TMD बार, एकदम सॉलिड।
बार फिर से मध्य प्रदेश में ज्यादातर सीटें बीजेपी के हाथ में जाती दिख रही हैं। 28 से 29 सीटें भाजपा जीत सकती है। ये आज तक इंडिया टुडे एक्सिस माई इंडिया के सर्वे में आ गया है।
29 में से 29 सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीतेगी। हम और जीतेंगे भी भारी अंतर से। हम सामान्य अंतर से नहीं जीतेंगे। अंतर देख के भी लोग आश्चर्यचकित होंगे। बड़े भारी अंतर से भाजपा जीत रही है।
शिवराज जी छिंदवाड़ा सीट पे भी है, नकुलनाथ वहां से सांसद भी हैं, इस बार उम्मीदवार भी हैं। आप लोग दावा कर रहे हैं 29 सीटें जीतने का। हालांकि जो सर्वे एग्जिट पोल आया है इंडिया टुडे एक्सिस माई इंडिया का, उसमें अभी भी एक संभावना कांग्रेस के लिए भी दिख रही है। क्या वो छिंदवाड़ा सीट ही है, आपको लग रहा है ऐसा?
छिंदवाड़ा सीट भारतीय जनता पार्टी बड़े अंतर से जीतेगी। पूरे मध्य प्रदेश की जनता के मन में केवल मोदी जी हैं, बाकी और कुछ जनता ने देखा ही नहीं।
दक्षिण के राज्यों में भी कई जगहों पे अगर हम देखें तो सर्वे बता रहा है एग्जिट पोल की, वहां पे भी भाजपा जो है आती हुई दिख रही है कई राज्यों में।
नहीं, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है। मैं पहले भी कहता था कि दक्षिण में भारतीय जनता पार्टी अप्रत्याशित परिणाम लेके आएगी। हम शानदार सफलता प्राप्त करने जा रहे हैं। यहाँ तक कि केरल और तमिलनाडु जैसे राज्यों में भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी को सफलता मिल रही है।
Potential swing states of the election. Why? Because remember, out of the 28 seats of Karnataka, last time the BJP won an astounding 25 of them. The Congress had won just one independent and JDS. But how is it all changing on the ground this time in the state of Karnataka? There you can see the magnificent Vidhan Sauda. And we are now predicting for the state of Karnataka, with the projected vote share of the BJP at 48%, the Congress at 41%, JDS at 7%, and remember the JDS is an ally of the BJP, others at 4%. So you've got the BJP, which lost Karnataka just 12 months ago, now rising once again. And this is how it's showing out. Karnataka 20 to 22 out of 28 for the BJP. Very good news for the Lotus Party. JDS 2 to 3 and the Congress 3 to 5. Now think about it, Rahul. This was the state where the Congress needed to make double-digit gains. They are just 3 to 5. That alliance between the BJP and JDS may well be working, and Karnataka living up to its reputation, voting differently Vidhan Sabha, voting differently Lok Sabha.
प्रेजेंटेड बाय माचो स्पोर्टो, ये तो बड़ा टॉइंग है। को प्रेजेंटेड बाय आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय, जॉय ई बाइक। को प्रेजेंटेड बाय ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा। ड्रिवन बाय जेके टायर, देश का टायर। पावर्ड बाय एमपी बिरला सीमेंट परफेक्ट प्लस कंक्रीट स्पेशल। को पावर्ड बाय पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी वडोदरा गुजरात। को पावर्ड बाय पैनासोनिक एसी फॉर स्मार्ट होम्स। Signature Finest Silver Elaichi, a premium product from Dilbar. Supreme Total Piping Solutions, जीवन भर का साथ। अच्छी नींद पेप्स की गारंटी। पेप्स, the dream makers.
Hello and welcome once again to the Axis My India poll done for India today on the general elections of 2024. We've reached that critical state where we are going to all the big states, the states that can make or break this general election. But as we go into the states, as you can see, mere dono haath mein laddu hai. NDA on one side, India on the other. 306 seats counted out of 543. What are the numbers showing? Let me turn them around, and there you have it. 300. You've got 100 seats who are playing on one side, which is the number of the India Alliance, and 197, which is the number of the NDA Alliance. So it's almost twice as much. So Rahul, with 3 big states to go, the NDA could well be poised for a triple century and more as things stand. Rahul.
At this moment, can the NDA be 400 par? The BJP itself had given up on that 370 idea. Are they heading in that direction? Stay with us for the next couple of hours and you are about to find out, because we're diving in now to Maharashtra. Maharashtra is one of the most epic battleground states in this election, and it is in Maharashtra that the story of the general elections is being written. The projected vote share for Maharashtra up on your screen right now. The Bharatiya Janata Party at 29%, the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction at 13%, the Ajit Pawar faction at 4%, the Congress at 14%, the NCP Sharad Pawar faction at 9%. But the big story there is the Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray faction, which seems to have done very well as far as vote share is concerned. When this gets converted into seats, India Today and Access My India are predicting that amongst the most fascinating elections in this election have happened in Maharashtra. The BJP projected to bag between 20 and 22 seats. The Eknath Shinde faction, which contested 15 seats, expected to bag between 8 and 10. The NCP Ajit Pawar faction, which contested 5, could bag between 1 and 2. The Congress between 3 and 4. The Sharad Pawar faction between 3 and 5. The Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray faction between 9 and 11 could potentially be the number 2 party in the state when it comes to tallies. Rajdeep, this is your home state. Uddhav Thackeray emerging as one of the big winners there. Eknath Shinde's faction not doing quite as well as the BJP itself. What do you make of these numbers?
Actually, Rahul, I must disagree with you there, because the real story, if these numbers hold, is actually Eknath Shinde. He's contesting 14 seats. 14. He's leading in 8 to 10. And you've got Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena Rahul, which is contesting 23 seats, and they're leading in 9 to 11. So for the allies, what was the general belief in Maharashtra? BJP will hold its own, but these allies will bring it down. Yes, Ajit Pawar's faction, and it'll be interesting to see which are those 1 to 2. Is it the seat between Supriya Sule and Sunetra Pawar, which is the one which is key, the Baramati seat? So we don't know which is the seat. We'll find that out from Pradeep. But instinctively what this means is, those numbers, Rahul, out of 48 seats, 28 to 32 to the NDA, which means they are down by about 10. But the BJP itself is hardly taking a hit. They got 23 last time. They're getting 20 to 22 this time. The India Alliance doing better than last time, but clearly not as well as they had hoped. I mean, this is the other big disappointment for them after Karnataka. Karnataka, they expected...
No, it's not comparable, Rajdeep. Karnataka, the BJP swept. Here they made a real fight in Maharashtra.
No, but you would expect to be ahead of your rivals, right? You had gone into this election in the hope that you would be ahead of your rivals. That's not happening. Yes, the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena is clearly showing it's in the fight. Sharad Pawar is showing he is the real NCP in the sense he is ahead of the Ajit Pawar faction, and most of their contests were in Western Maharashtra. The Congress again comes over Kadi. 17 seats that they have contested, they are only leading in 3. So you see, you're having a situation, if I'm the BJP and we are in T20 season, I want the Congress as a matchup. And that, in a way reflects right across the country, but a disappointment, I think, for the Mahavikas Aghadi. If these numbers hold, it may change in a Vidhan Sabha 4 months from now, Rahul, whether Modi factor
I don't know,
may not
you're
be
sounding very... The fact is that this is a good fight. By the relative standards of the fight that the India Alliance has put up, they've put up one of their best fights in Maharashtra.
Sure, but it's not winning you. And you see, what was your aim? Your aim was to stop the BJP from crossing 272. That's not going to happen anywhere anymore. The BJP is romping towards 272 and more.
Shankar wants to make a point.
Seminal points that are emerging out of this. Everybody had written off Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar. The comment in Mumbai was, ye dono shaheed ho jayenge. That's not happening. The second thing that you notice in the number is the Congress has once again capitulated completely. I live in Pune, and in Pune, the joke that is being discussed is that the Congress party president, the Congress candidate, is fighting both the Congress party president and the BJP candidate. The Congress is completely almost not visible in Maharashtra. So that part of the story is there. But still the consensus view, Rahul, I must say, is exactly the reverse of what we are showing.
Consensus amongst whom?
Among most people, most
sitting in their drawing
commentators.
rooms doing their own psephology.
In India, everybody has their own team. It's a My 11 or Dream 11, whatever team everybody's creating.
Okay. So Amit Malviya now joins us. Amit Malviya heads up the IT cell of the Bharatiya Janata Party, has played a very important role in the BJP's campaign in West Bengal. In just a while from now, we'll come to West Bengal. But till then, Mr. Malviya, from these numbers, it seems that Prime Minister Modi extremely confident, declaring that the NDA has won and the India alliance has lost, he says.
But Rahul, for anybody who went on the campaign trail and visited various parts of the country and states such as Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Telangana and Odisha, the so-called big catchment states for the BJP in this election, they all came back with the impression that the BJP is probably the only party that is in the contest. The Congress, for all its bluster, was completely missing. Some bit of resistance was put up by the regional parties. And I'm not quite surprised that the trends that are now emerging, including your own exit poll, seems to suggest that the BJP will be home on its own, will have a massive majority. And let me point out, this is probably the first time in contemporary Indian history and perhaps even after independence that a Prime Minister will return to office for a third term with a higher vote share and higher number of seats. And that itself makes this mandate very, very special. And I don't know what your final numbers look like, but I can tell you that we will be very close to our projected number of 370, and the NDA will add on to that, and we will be on course to a 400 number.
It won't, I want to tell our viewers, it won't just be historic in an Indian context. Even when you look internationally, the likes of Margaret Thatcher or Tony Blair, transformative leaders of their countries, in their third election, they did win, but with reduced majorities. The question is, can Prime Minister Modi win with an even bigger majority? I want to show you this cool hawa, hot hawa business that's playing on our screen right now, which basically tells you what's happening in the hot seats. Where is the cool hawa and the hot hawa going? So the cool hawa, and I want to take up Baramati first, because Baramati is Pawar versus Pawar. It's one of the most pitched battles of the Lok Sabha election. Let's show you what's happening in that very hot seat of Baramati. India Today Access My India project, and I know that Supriya Sule might be watching at this time, that she has the edge. So Netra Pawar, Ajit Pawar's wife, in fact seems in our poll to be trailing with she'll be very, very relieved to see this. This was really the ego battle, the prestige battle. The BJP top guns insisting that Ajit Pawar contest through his wife. And it seems that Sharad Pawar could have the last laugh. That's what our poll suggests at this moment. Let's now look at what's happening in the seat of Sangli. Now this again, the hot seat, the cool hawa in Sangli, Vishal Patil, as an independent, seems to be one up on the BJP candidate over there. But Baramati, Rajdeep, you travel to Baramati, our polls seem, if you ask anyone in the BJP top leadership, they think they're winning Baramati. India Today Access My India says at this moment, you got Supriya Sule with the edge.
It's a tough seat. You know, there was a high voter turnout in Khadakwasla, which is one of the assembly segments of Baramati. It's semi-urban, mainly urban, just on the borders of Pune. And we will have to see whether the BJP has, or the NCP, Ajit Pawar faction has pulled enough votes there in Khadakwasla to make up what it might lose out in rural Baramati. My sense is this will go down to the wire. It's a very tight contest. The BJP very clearly put up Ajit Pawar's wife so that in a way the competition was intense. They realized no one else perhaps could really take on Sharad Pawar's clout in that constituency. So they put up someone from the family. And if they are winning one or two, one of them could well end up the Ajit Pawar faction in Baramati. But Sangli is again interesting. This was a constituency where the Congress candidate is the grandson of Vasantdada Patil, the former chief minister of the late Vasantdada Patil. The Congress didn't give him the ticket. So he went and contested independent. The seat was taken by the Shiv Sena, which insisted that we want the Sangli seat. Guess what? The independent could be winning. I think there will be lessons if these numbers hold of the nature of your election management. And questions will be raised about the choice of candidates and the way you fought.
Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray faction now joins us. Priyanka ji, welcome. Your sense of the numbers so far? Rajdeep and I having a bit of a disagreement. I was making the point that Uddhav Thackeray and the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena seem to have done well. Rajdeep says, but look at how the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction have done. They haven't proven to be the Kamzor Khadi. How are you reading this data, Priyanka?
So whatever I'm seeing from the exit polls, while I respect my exit polls a lot, however, the numbers are going to show differently on the results day. We're very confident that Mr. Shinde, the 13% that you're showing to his faction, is going to be a much reduced single-digit vote share. But I'm not going to be jumping the gun here. While I respect the numbers that are showing here, we are pretty confident that we are going to do well as the Mahavikas Aghadi Alliance.
But if these numbers hold, Priyanka Chaturvedi, then where could things have gone wrong? I mentioned Sangli just now as a seat the Shiv Sena insisted on fighting. As per our polls, the independent who the Congress had hoped to give a ticket appears to be leading. Was there that perfect coordination, you think, on the ground? Do you believe that maybe, or is it the Modi factor that could have given the BJP the edge, especially in Lok Sabha?
I do not know how much of the Modi factor is really working, to be very honest. But if you look at the percentage, if I'm just going by the numbers that you all are showing, others is showing a voting percentage of almost, vote share of almost 11%. That in itself tells you a story that those are the ones which will, in case these numbers hold, which will play a small sport for the Congress party and for various other alliances that we are seeing here.
I can actually quantify the Modi factor in Maharashtra. Of all the people who voted the way they did, 9% of the total respondents and 19% of the NDA voters said they voted the way they did because of Prime Minister Modi, which means in an assembly context, Priyanka Chaturvedi's party and that alliance has a fighting chance. But the problem is your former party, the Congress, has once again proven to be the weak link. How do you see that? Uddhav Thackeray punching as per his weight or above his weight, depending on how you see it, but the Congress punching in a very suboptimal fashion, Priyanka.
No, what is this about calling this my former party? I'm with the Shiv Sena and I would prefer it that we do not talk like this, that, oh, look what your former party is doing. It is part of an alliance. We are part of the same alliance. And I come from Shiv Sena. I speak on behalf of Shiv Sena or the Balasaheb Thackeray faction, right? So having said that, all I mentioned, again, like I said, while I respect the numbers that are showing here, there will be a very different picture that you would see on the 4th of June. And I'm very confident that Mahavikas Aghadi has done well, and going by our ground reports and what we have collected on ground and we have seen on ground, there has been a massive show of support, not just in terms of emotional support, but in terms of voting as well, as far as we are concerned. So again, like I said, numbers will tell the truth only by 4th, but we are pretty confident about how this is going to turn out in Maharashtra. Just one thing I'd like to say here. Shiv Sena and Bharatiya Janata Party, when they were in alliance, Bharatiya Janata Party had won 23 seats. Right now it's showing 22 seats. That in itself tells you another story.
But Priyanka, the entire narrative when you campaigned and your party campaigned was that this election will settle which is the real Shiv Sena. If Eknath Shinde holds on to the numbers that he's seeming to be holding on, then that's a problem.
I don't see that as a problem. I only see it as a problem created by the Bharatiya Janata Party, which on the 4th of June, you would see the answer to. And assembly elections are not too far. You would get that reply on that as well. As far as Maharashtra is concerned, the independents have played a factor if these numbers hold, and that is something that we will work on. You know, assembly elections are something that
So very quick points. We need to go to West Bengal. Yes.
One last point. Serious point. Once again, the Congress versus BJP story is playing out here. In the 23 odd seats that the BJP, 28 seats that the BJP was fighting, it was contesting against the Congress in 15 seats. And the Congress's tally and the BJP's tally tells you that once again, the BJP versus Congress battle is being won by the BJP.
And it's happened in 2 consecutive elections, Rahul. So it's not a one-off. 2014, 145 seats direct contest, only 13 were won by Congress. In 2019, 178 direct contests, 166 won by
Rajat wants to
BJP.
make a brief
So
point.
it's, it really tells you the story of what has happened in the last 10
West
years.
Bengal's coming up next.
A
Rajat.
lot of criticism was levied on the BJP as to why did they break Shiv Sena and why did they break NCP. Imagine a scenario had these two parties been together, the Aghadi being a completely cemented alliance, they would have almost wiped out BJP from Western Maharashtra and even from Marathwada belt. And I think this is where BJP's deft handling of the issue right in time, 1 year in advance, they understood that the situation isn't very good and they can't fully rely on Shinde alone. They ensured that NCP is also broken, and they kept working hard in terms of ensuring that some level of semblance of vote transfer happens. I believe NCP vote transfer did not happen to BJP as it was expected. Their base is totally different. It was an unnatural alliance. Also, in seats like Baramati and all, Sharad Pawar, remember at 83 years, he went to every individual whom he has been fighting for 50, 60 years. He went to their households, caught their feet literally, asking for vote, begging for vote. He went to Sangram Thopte's house. He went to Vijay Mohite Patil's place, ensured that all regional satraps are all brought into Aghadi fold. So he did a lot of hard work on the ground.
I want to say though, this is one state route, just as a caveat, where there are exit polls, especially by the local regional channels, which are giving the edge to the Mahavikas Aghadi. So it's in the sense that, generally across all states, exit polls are unidirectional. Across states we are finding. This is the only state where many of the exit polls are actually either predicting a dead heat or a slight edge to the Mahavikas.
Okay, we want to thank Priyanka Chaturvedi for joining us as we pivot now to West Bengal. The only thing to keep in mind, no matter what your political affiliation, that 19% of NDA voters said they voted the way they did in Maharashtra because of Prime Minister Modi. You take 9% of that overall vote away from the NDA tally, the assembly election in Maharashtra is going to look very, very exciting. Rajdeep and I both looking forward, along with Preeti, to going down to Maharashtra because that just makes Maharashtra supremely exciting, and the elections are just a few weeks away. Let's now come to West Bengal. This is what Amit Malviya and the others in the BJP were most excited about. Is the BJP going to be ahead? Even those in the Trinamool were saying, well, they have put up a good fight, but we hope to be ahead in terms of votes and seats. India Today and Access My India are predicting that the BJP will have a 6% vote share lead. The Trinamool was at 43%, that could potentially come down to 40. The BJP was at 40, that could go up 6% to 46. The left and the Congress at 12% vote share, others at 2%. If in a largely bipolar fight, the BJP manages to have a 6% lead in terms of vote share, that translates into a massive 26 to 31. Amongst the biggest gains for the Bharatiya Janata Party, potentially coming from the battleground state of West Bengal, where Messrs. Modi, Shah and Shubhendu Adhikari seem to have got one past Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool, who could come down to 11 and 14. They did fight hard, especially post Sandesh Khali, tried to recover ground, but maybe it was too late. 26 to 31 for the Bharatiya Janata Party, 11 to 14. People, Amit Malviya, were wondering if the BJP will slightly be ahead. It seems the BJP is substantially ahead in West Bengal over the Trinamool, which could be down to just 11 to 14 seats. They had 22 the last time.
Well, Rahul, we are obviously quite excited at the prospect of West Bengal. And I can tell you that these numbers reflect the aspiration of the people of Bengal. If I take you back to 2021, when Mamata Banerjee won a third mandate, after that, there is nothing that has gone right for the state, from recovery of excess of about 51 crore cash in her education minister's home, the SSC recruitment scam, the Russian scam, Sandesh Khali most recently, which is a blot on West Bengal and an abiding legacy of Mamata Banerjee for times to come. The recent court judgment striking out minority reservation in the OBC, all of this has completely snowballed. Today, when India, approximately 960 million voters have participated in this election process, the only state where a person has been shot dead is West Bengal. Just today evening, when the election was closing, a BJP booth karyakarta has been shot dead point blank in Sandesh Khali. The kind of violence that marred the election, particularly the last phase, is for everybody to see. And Mamata Banerjee presides over this lawlessness. Women's security is a big issue. Corruption is a massive issue. lack of governance. A state as large as West Bengal hasn't seen reform for decades. It is struggling, it is gasping. There are no opportunities, there are no jobs for people there. Almost 1.5 lakh people in every Lok Sabha constituency work out of the state because there are no jobs in West Bengal. The healthcare infrastructure is crumbling. Every government scheme is riddled with corruption.
You know, as Amit Malviya is saying, he sees that these results are a massive mandate against Mamata Banerjee. Your view, you traveled through West Bengal, you said there was anti-incumbency on the ground. Are you surprised by the scale of it? Because if these numbers hold, it gives the BJP a huge fillip, particularly ahead of the 2026 assembly polls.
You know, Rajdeep, West Bengal was one state where I did think the anti-incumbency lay with Mamata Banerjee. Was I expecting these numbers? I was expecting the BJP to be the single largest party. I did feel that the TMC is going to fall behind. But, you know, to the tune of the numbers that we are projecting, no. I would have thought the BJP would have gone to about 2022. But, you know, what I want to get in is, what's really seemed to have happened is that at least the vote seems to have been polarized. There are 13 seats in West Bengal which are dominated by the minority. Now, if we look at it, we're giving the TMC maximum 14. So,